carved in stone divine. It's all about your top four, nothing more. Rushmore Show kicking down the door, ranking the icons, the greats we adore. It's all about your top four, nothing more. Nothing more.
Well, it's Thursday and it's the Rushmore Show, and that where it's all about your top four and nothing more. Andy, I am pumped about this new song going on. I am just digging it.
Gets me
And,
fired up.
It's ours. It's ours. And 5 people in the chat already. I hope everybody is saying hello. Look at this chat moving along. It's Batman. I'm Batman. Are you Batman? Chill out. Yes. So it is time for a little Rushmore, man. So, Andy, do you like Batman movies?
I do. I am. I'm not as well versed in this field
Andy.
as I could be, but you know, it's going to be a fun night for sure. I love Batman. Batman is a great superhero, so it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Oh, Kirk, you freezing?
Oh,
you got you.
No, yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Mr. Freeze got you. Chill out.
Yeah. Dude, hey, that 80s room is in the house. Man, hello. I might be a little on and out. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I might jump out, jump back in. But Andy, I love Batman. It's one of my favorite. I do like Batman movies, and I try to catch up on some Batman cartoons that I haven't watched. So maybe I could throw them into my mountain. But yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting night. We've got 2 great friends, both of them for their second time, and see some people in the chat that's gonna be here for the first time. Dusty Flotilla is gonna be on the show next week, guys. Next week, Dusty's in the house. We're gonna do training montages with Iowa Retro Gamer Dad, and Kevin Sims in the house, my best friend from childhood. That's 80s Room, one of my friends that we found from Feral Inferno, I believe, is where that 80s Room came from. But hey, that 80s Room, maybe it came from, no, I think it's Feral Inferno. But hey, 80s Room, you've never been on the show, but if you want to be on the show, let us know. We'd love to have new people. Welcome to the Summit Squad, to everybody else out there. If you're going to take this journey along with us, remember, we're doing 4, 3, 2, 1 Batman movies, your criteria, because it's your top 4 and nothing more. So nobody else's top 4, nothing else like that. Andy, I've been working hard on this list, and it's changed quite a bit as far as the Benjamins go, but my top 4 is pretty solid. Pretty solid. I am, like you, though, think I might be a little concerned about how the Benjamins roll. Might be.
Yeah, I did something tonight with my Benjamins that's going to help me out a little bit for sure. So I'll bend the rules. Okay. Not as far as bending the rules. They're all obviously Batman movies, but I'm going to bend my typical approach to how I do a Rushmore. At least the Benjamins tonight. So
I think I might know where you're going, just because that's a good idea. That's a good idea if it is. If that's what you're doing. And hey, how was the trip down to the beach?
It was great. We did a daycation. We've been, in the middle of summer is camp season with youth and with kids and VBS and all those things. So we tried to fit in something. I took this week off of work, and yesterday we took a 2-hour trip out to Dauphin Island. Just had a good time with the family, swimming and going to the little aquarium that's out there and having a blast. So
hey, I haven't got a chance to say hello, but looking back in the chat, most of these people are my family. And now this is a new guy to the family, Dark Link. He's been hanging around the last few weeks. Dark Link's a member of the chat. If you're a member of the chat, we're going to celebrate you guys later. But as a member, you get some cool emojis to use, and hopefully you'll use them today in the chat. And so let's get this thing started, though. Batman movies. I got the original Batman video game behind me. I'm pumped, retro style. let's get our friends out here before the 9 people run away. Let's get it started with your top 4. This is a slick thing that us on YouTube we call like stall. It's called stalling. My top 4, drum roll. We're still top 4ing. Batman movies of all time. Gained somebody on that. That was a nice little thing. Welcome, whoever that is that just showed up. And it's okay if you lurk. If you're lurking around, don't forget a few things. One, Instagram will have a slideshow and seeing who wins the vote. We didn't do one for last show. We just did a show on Tuesday. Go watch that show too. Watch them both. That was a great show. Dennis in the house. What killed the dinosaurs?
Just wait, Dennis. Just wait, Dennis.
Just wait. Just wait. You shouted. Hey, so the Ice Age, says Retromaniac. But on Instagram will be a vote on who has the best tonight, and you can vote for who has the best on Tuesday. Also, here is your question of the week for the chat. Come back, Dave Rimble. No need. We know who had the best 4. Dave was on the show on Tuesday. Dave, thanks for being here, buddy. What a great show. Hey, everybody in the chat, most of y'all have a wrench. That 80s room, I see you don't have a wrench. Let me send you a wrench because you're a friend of ours. And if you have a wrench, that means you are a moderator. And because you're a moderator, you can share your channel in the chat. That's one of the things. And you can also kick out any of the crazy trolls. Jessica says Dave and Andy were tied. It's going to be hard. You got to pick one. I say pick the guest because Andy should never win.
Hey,
That's not nice.
I'll take wherever I place. As long as I place over Kirk, then I'm good. I'll let the guests win, and that's polite.
And that's okay. And so here I go. 80s room coming your way. And Dave Rimble, got to give him one too. He doesn't have a moderator. So standard moderators, sure. There's one for Dave and 80s room. Here it comes. Add and boom. So now that you guys have the wrenches thrown your way, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Throw your chat down. Throw your channel in the chat. So let's invite our friends on the show and let's get this thing moving. So first of the show, I'll introduce the guy who was originally on the show, and then we added a guy. 14 people. We haven't seen 14 people in a minute. They must love Batman. Spud, hey, thank you for being here. You were a beneficiary. So was Dusty, I believe, and Jessica, beneficiary of Dark Link, who was in the chat. He bought several memberships. So welcome to the membership. Now you guys have emojis. Use them. There's 4 emojis. And you can share them. And we're also going to shout out all of our members at halftime. So, and start shouting out your shows. So things like that. So definitely. First guy on the show, we do Louisiana RetroCon. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And at Louisiana RetroCon with Davey down in the bayou, down there in the bayou, we hang out, selling video games, hanging out and whatever. And we do our little show, and we met a not a vendor, but he could be a vendor, but a guy that is just kind of a fan of the local wrestling scene, and also a friend of Davey and all the other people there, because everybody knows everybody in South Louisiana. Not everybody's loved as much as this guy is, but he travels the wrestling circuit, and he loves Batman. He picked Batman movies for us today. Welcome to the show. Our good friend, brother in Christ, Retromaniac, better known as Jeff Hufstetler. There he is. What's up, Jeff?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, guys.
Bryce is in the house. Bryce is also a member of the chat. Thank you, buddy, for being here. We'll shout you guys out in a little bit. Wrestling is life. So he loves wrestling. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But first, Jeff, what you got behind you? What's that behind you? Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
There it is. There it is. Hey, go Tigers. Go Tigers. All right, so yeah, that was a great game last night. I love to see Arkansas stumble over themselves. You know what, Arkansas, I feel for the 3 kids that made the mistakes, but I don't feel for the fan base. I don't feel for the fan base at all. So, sorry.
3 chances to win that game last night, and they just.
I mean, you had a ton. You had a ton. Tigers in the World Series against Coastal, and I like Coastal. I like Coastal a lot. It's going to be a tough game. If Coastal wins, I'll be upset because I'm a Tiger fan, but I won't be upset because Coastal won. My daughter actually went to Coastal for a camp, and it's on her list to maybe go and play at. It's a cool little place. Oh, out in Myrtle Beach. Jeff is an awesome dude. Between y'all and Jeff, that's why I love. Oh,
More call off.
Jeff? Yeah, interesting, because he did get a membership last week, so perfect timing. Yeah. Oh no, that's Dustin, right?
This is Justin.
Yeah. I had to remember who that was. Yeah. Jeff is a great guy. I forgot the name because you're not Justin. Man. Anyways, rolling along. Let's get our other guy out here. I love seeing those channels in the chat. Let's get our other guy out here. This guy, oh captain, my captain. Talk about him a lot. He's been on the show. He was on the show one other time. I believe we did what's his name films? Mr. 80s. Gosh, what's his name? Ferris Bueller guy. Geez, what's his name, Andy? Help me out. John Hughes. Hughes. Thank you, Alex. We did John Hughes.
I just wanted to see you fight for it.
I was fighting for it. I was going to say John Williams, and that was the wrong John.
That's a different one we're going to talk about.
Films, which is a great. Yeah, we got 17 in the chat. It's been a minute. Mystically's in the house. Mystically's, we love your channel. Great dude. Keep doing your thing, man. Everybody go. If you have it, Wrench, share it. Welcome to the show. My captain, while I was stationed. Hold on.
I'm glad you're wearing shorts. That's good.
While I was stationed in Iraq, this is the. If you guys don't know what this is where you dig your hole to go poop in. This is one of my awards while I was out there. And welcome to the show, my captain, oh captain, my captain, Captain Thyne. And actually, you finished out. What did you when you got out? What were you? Major?
I was right at that point of major. So yeah, 10 years. Yeah. You know,
10 years, almost a major dad.
Major dad. Yep.
Yeah.
Like I
Major
said,
pain.
had to major pain. Had to go do other things in life.
Pain, a little too short, but we're okay. Yeah. Listen, we're loaded with a great cast. So first off, coming back to you, Jeff. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Jeff, why do you like Batman movies? What is Retro Maniac? Why should people follow you and go look where you're doing things? What's this wrestling you love? Tell us about you a little bit and where people can kind of get to know you.
Well, let's start off with Batman, man. Batman really defined my childhood. I was born in 1990, and that was like the heartbeat of this huge Batman movement that just swept across the United States. And we'll get into some of the movies, but Batman, I mean, when I was a kid, every birthday party was Batman. Once upon a time, I was, I was big into Halloween. Every year for Halloween, I dressed up as Batman. And just outside of Jesus Christ, Batman has had one of the greatest impacts on my life.
Amen. Amen.
So, but yeah, I'm Retro Maniac, and how I got into this whole thing was growing up, I didn't have a whole lot of money. I guess you could say I grew up kind of poor, and I had a lot of friends that they had a lot of cool stuff. They had the Nintendos, and I always told myself one day I'm gonna have a really cool collection. So I kind of got into reselling, and that's the fastest way to really grow your collection. And through that, I got to meet a lot of great people. I went to the gaming conventions. That's how I met you guys. Met so many great people along the way. And also growing up outside of Batman, really sweeping through the 90s, wrestling was so big. And so that was two of the biggest things in my childhood. And having a son of my own in 2025, he's going to be turning 7. But I took him to a wrestling show a few years ago, and it just got a hold of him, man. He just he fell in love with it the same way I fell in love with wrestling in the mid '90s. And so I try to invest in my kid's interests. You know, he plays sports. I invest into it. He's into wrestling. I invest into it. He's into video games, and I mean, this is all natural things that strike my interest. So I invest into it, and so we do it together. We do it as a family. We support a lot of the independent wrestling along the Gulf Coast scene. Our guy is Vladimir Koloff, but we have so many. We're fans of all the men and women that go out there and perform, and just a lot of respect for everyone that does that. And we go as a family. My wife even joins, and it's just quite a fascinating thing. And so through this whole retro maniac, we we're kind of searching for identity. You know, you mentioned at the conventions, I'm not really a vendor. I never want to lose that fanhood. And sometimes when something becomes a job, it just basically like chokes the life out of something. And
Right.
so I don't want anything to ever kind of feel like a job. So when I go to these conventions, man, I'm a fan. I'm a customer. I'm looking to buy something. I'm looking to celebrate a fellow, I guess, another vendor or somebody that's collecting, celebrating what they've been able to build. With Davey with RetroCon, what he's been able to build is phenomenal, and I celebrate with him on that, as well as all the vendors that you can watch them grow. And so for me, I've been trying to find my identity, what path I want to go down with Retro Maniac, and video games, nostalgia, the whole retro category, and wrestling plays hand in hand. So this past March, I had a dream come true opportunity to kind of put on my own wrestling show as a sponsor. And so Pro Wrestling 225, one of the top wrestling companies in the state of Louisiana, reached out to me. They wanted to do a retro video game themed uh, wrestling show, and so I got to be a part of that. And man, it was phenomenal. The main event, it was titled Console Combat, basically a street fight using video game consoles as weapons. And it was just a great time. So I really feel like I found, I guess, my path, and teaming up with wrestling, just being a supporter of those men and women is kind of what's been working for us.
That's awesome, man. I love all that. We love Koloff too, as much as he doesn't love us.
Oh,
So
wait. Oh,
we got to interview them or lead a panel at one of the retro cons a while back, and I've never felt more like Gene Okerlund than I did in that one panel. I was like, somebody's going to take a chair out and hit us, or something's going to happen. My favorite thing was egging them on, because not only did we have him, but we had what's his name?
Mustang
Mike,
Mike, baby.
Yeah. We had him on the other end too, and it was like at one point they actually got up and got each other's face. It was so fun. It's one of the highlights of this Rushmore show. But yeah, we love that stuff, man. Obviously, Davey and the RetroCon, love everything that you're doing. With love the idea of just being a fan and just keeping that whole thing going too. So that's awesome. So we got a little bit about Jeff. Jeff, again, you've been on the show before, so welcome back again. Alex. Kirk kind of gave you a little bit of an intro there, but let us know, man. What is it that you do? What is it that maybe draws you to the nostalgia world or the Batman world, things like that? What you got going on?
You know, like Jeff, I think about Batman. You break it down, Batman's the everyman, right? He's like all of us. If you think about when you look at superheroes, everybody has an ability. Everybody has, I got a power. I can fly. I can stop things. But Batman's just a dude. If you think about it, it's a guy who, he's got all the money in the world, number one. And if we all had the money in the world, he decided he wanted to do something to stop crime in his city and be able to help out. It's almost like a servant leader. And in the roles I've played in my career, it's that servant leader. And kind of going to what Kirk said, even from the military, you think about, you throw a helmet on, you throw Kevlar on, you're traveling in a cool vehicle. you're kind of Batman, right? You have night vision goggles. You're kind of Batman, right? I mean, you think about it, that's the costume, or that's the uniform. So it's one of those things that is one of those superheroes that I remember, like, we'll talk about the movies and such, and just a lot of great memories of really understanding like what Batman, who he was, what he represented, trying to fight crime to make a better community for where he lived. And it was so, he's the original detective. You look at the history of Batman, he's the detective, right? He's the original one. You think about, but when you strip it all down, he is just a regular guy who wakes up every single morning and says, okay, what can I do today? And he's, like I said, he has that opportunity to build some really cool gadgets. Like, look at those cool toys, right? First movie. And that's what draws me to him, because reality is, could we all do the same thing? We could all. I mean, if we wanted to step into that role and we had all the money in the world, we could probably be, honestly, we could be Batman. Now, we'd have to be in perfect shape like Andy, but, we'd get there, right? So that's what draws me to this character. And then he's obviously very vulnerable. He can get hurt. He bleeds. He can get knocked around. He's got to recover. I mean, some of my favorite movies are the ones where, he's bruised up and battered, and he's not Superman. He's not going to just self-heal, by looking at the sun. He's not. Some, like I said, other characters, the person's got to recover from injury, and once he recovers, he suits back up and he goes back out there again. So once again, that is what draws me to this character the most. When I think about a lot of, whether it's Marvel, DC, I'm kind of drawn to this character because he is the everyman. He really is.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great analysis of it for sure. Batman. We're going to talk about it ad nauseum. Obviously, that's what all tonight is about.
Yeah.
But Batman was the guy that was like, man, when I was a kid and you could choose between Superman and Batman, Superman was lame, man. Like, I want Batman. Batman looked cooler. Batman had the gadgets and stuff. Like,
I appreciate Superman more now that I'm older, kind of know the lore and whatever. But when I was a kid, Superman sucked.
Yeah, he was like wearing red underwear. You're like, bro, no, give me Batman. This dude looks cool.
What a weirdo.
I totally agree. Now I think Supes is really cool. I can't wait for the new movie. But yeah, Dark Link in the house. Look, Declan in the house. Patrick Little in the house. Patrick McCaskill in the house. Dusty and Jessica and Bryce. And there, we're back. Religious fanboy in the house. Picking a favorite Batman movie is like picking a favorite child. They're all good, but let's see what y'all choose. Dark Link says, of course, Jessica, good to see you. Religious fanboy. Hello, my friend. Hello there. So, hey, man, we have a great show lined up, and we have a lot of people here. So before they run away, guys, before you go, make sure you hit the like if you haven't already done that. That's number one. Number two, make sure you drop your top 4 before you leave. Even if you're lurking, throw it in there before you head on out. And tomorrow, here's the rule. Tomorrow, you come back to the show just to do one thing for us. Tell us your your number 1, your George of worst Batman movies ever. Just tell us the number 1 worst Batman movie ever in the chat tomorrow, and go vote on who has the best. Let's get this thing going. We're starting with you down there. Jeff, you're going to go first. Tell us your criteria. Well, we kind of talked about Batman already, but you can still share why you picked a certain movie, because criteria is important, because it depends on how old you are, where you were raised, what's going on, why you would pick a certain film. And Barry in the house. Oh, by the way, thank you, Dark Link, for giving all the memberships out. If you have a membership, you have special emojis. Use them. Share them in the chat right now. I think we have probably like 24 members now, which is crazy to think that would even happen. Thank you, Dark Link. Thank you, everybody. So share your stuff. So deep cut right there. Original Batman movie, 66 for the win.
Wow.
I've said before, Lego Star Wars. was in my intro in Star Wars. Well, someone Batman. Yep. And Deep Cut Berry. Here we go. Oh, Patrick McCaskill dropped his 4 already. 89, Begins, Forever, and Dark Knight. That's good. That's good.
list.
Here we go. Jeff, you're up first. What was your criteria? What you were thinking? And let's start this chat up.
Well, when I think about my top 4, my Mount Rushmore of Batman, I think about each era. So when you look at Batman, like Batman comes in different ways, shapes, and forms, colors. Each Batman era kind of defines it really has its own personality that defines that era. And so, especially when I was growing up in the 90s, Batman went from dark to bright and kind of silly, but then he went to, kind of more realistic, to now it's like more of a detective style. Kind of, especially this recent Batman movie a few years ago, kind of feels more of a graphic novel. So with my criteria, it wasn't just so much whether or not it was a good movie, is the effect that it had on the era in which it came out in. And so I think about how it affected pop culture. I think about the soundtrack. I think how it affected marketing. I think what toys, man, toys and merchandise. I think about soundtracks and just it's Batman is so much more iconic than just the movie itself. And so when I think about my top 4, it stretches beyond just whether or not it was a good movie. And so I know there's a lot of fanboys, Batman diehards that just, how dare you put a certain movie on the Mount Rushmore, but we'll see how that goes. So are we getting right into it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Give us your Rosie.
Okay.
Give us your
So
Rosie.
this
Number
will be
4.
your Rosie, and you could. So for everybody that hasn't been on the show before, you can do it a couple ways. One, you could be like, my Rosie is, or you can kind of lead us up into it and see if we can figure it out, however you feel. And yeah, you're up, man. So this is number 4.
So this one right here is I'm coming right out the gate. It's going to be very controversial for some folks, but I really don't care, because at the end of the day, I actually thought about swapping this movie out just because it's not what everyone would pick. But when I think about an iconic Batman movie that defines the era, I think about a movie that just made 30 years 3 days ago on June 16th, Batman Forever. That's I know a lot of people may disagree with that, but it's so much more whether or not it's a good movie. You think about everything that it brought to the table. You think about the soundtrack, one of the most famous songs, Kiss from a Rose by Seal. I mean, you think about all the video games, horrible video game, by the way. Here's for the Sega, for the Super Nintendo. But Batman Forever, the arcade, which also got ported to PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn, is actually a very good game. But there's so much more that goes into Batman Forever than just the movie itself. I think about the way McDonald's marketed Batman Forever. One of the coolest tie-in products that any fast food restaurants ever come out with was these amazing crystal glasses. Whoever had one of these, right? I got all of them, man. It's just so when I think about Batman Forever, it's just a fun movie. Yeah, it's not as serious as what some people would like. You think about the direction that Tim Burton had brought, basically reinvented Batman, and then what Joel Schumacher was what he basically inherited with Batman Forever, and it was a lot different. It was the neon colors, but man, it was just something special, especially in 1995. It basically just it was what the 1990s was, man. It was just what you think about the actors. Val Kilmer, which he passed away just a few months ago, and then Jim Carrey. I mean, he did something with the Riddler that it was kind of weird, but it worked, and then the introduction of Robin. Man, you think about it, I don't believe since that little era of what Joel Schumacher was able to do, I don't think we've seen Robin in a live action movie since, which no we haven't. But that's my pick. Batman Forever. It's iconic. It's not for everybody, but man, was it for me.
Yeah,
That's
so
two
I
favorite
love that you
words.
put this. Let me just start off by giving you some positive affirmations. You took a Benjamin from me. I absolutely love this movie, and I don't even care that it doesn't get the love. That's going to be clear today when I'm talking to you guys. Okay, but Tommy Lee Jones, having Jim Carrey in there, yeah. But I will say when you talk about soundtrack, the Hold Me, Throw Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me by U2, I love that song. That's
Kiss
a
from the
banger.
Rose.
That's a great
And well,
song.
and Kiss from a Rose is great too. That's going to be the one that everyone goes to. But that U2 song is a banger. That's on that
Oh,
song.
this. Okay, out of all the Batmans, this probably has the best soundtrack. I'm just gonna throw that out. I don't know. This is just an amazing soundtrack. A lot of our two favorite words. Everybody is nostalgic and iconic. I see a lot of the emojis in the chat. Iconic. A lot of people are saying some things about it. And let's just see. Well, first off, here's a top 4 from a guy we haven't seen in a while. John, welcome, man. With Bean in the house. He said Batman and Robin. Wow, that's a deep cut. The Batman. Batman the Long Halloween. That's a cool one. And Batman the Dark Knight. That's a good pick, man. Alex, you typed in the chat. Somebody up here said Dave said it. Hero Burgers from Mickey D's was the best part.
Yes.
And you come back with, I worked at McDonald's during that time, made lots of Hero Burgers. Dude,
Lots of Hero Burgers. Those cups that you showed, Jeff, I have nightmares of those, breaking those.
So the Hero Burger, if I remember, I was Googling it. It was just a burger, but it was on that like chicken
Poke
sandwich.
bun.
Right?
It's on the McRib bun with 3 patties.
3 patties.
Yeah.
You had to stack them like
And,
three.
Yeah.
So, hey, Jeff, here's the question. Patrick says, but have you rewatched it recently?
I have.
And he came back down here and he said he had to rewatch it after Val Kilmer passed. So, hey, I'm just going to tell you, this is a great movie, super good cast. Let's shout out. So, Batman Forever had an IMDb rating of 5.4 and a Rotten Tomatoes score of a 39 with a critic or an audience score of a 33. Now, this is why we do the Rushmore Show, because it isn't always the GOAT movie. It has a lot to do with what it means to you. And usually you have some kind of story to go with it, but I applaud this pick. This is a good pick. This is a good pick. This is what the Rushmore Show is about. And, man, how about that Riddler? Dude, I mean, that was an iconic scene. I mean, that's an iconic cast, to be honest. So, and there were no nipples in this one, so we're past that as well. But somebody else said that.
No, there was nipple in this one.
Oh, this is Val, huh? Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Little,
Hey, you want to hear something crazy about this movie though? So who played Alfred?
And this one was it?
Michael Gough. I'll just give it to you. It's Michael Gough.
Oh, yeah.
And he played Alfred, okay? Batman was Val Kilmer. They had been in a movie previously together playing similar roles. Can you name the movie?
So
Kirk, you should know this.
Was it Top Gun?
Ooh, close.
Tombstone?
No.
No.
I'm thinking of Val Kilmer movies.
Val Kilmer.
Kirk, I'm gonna give you another clue. Rosie. We watched it in Iraq with Rosie.
Oh. Was it? I'm trying to think of a Val Kilmer movie we watched because we watched the heck out of some movies there. Sopranos.
Right. Do you want me to just give it to
you? Night at the Roxbury's coming to mind.
Do you want me to just give? I'll just give it to you.
Give it to me.
Top Secret.
Oh! Top Secret.
They're both in the same movie. They played
we were talking about, which is basically they actually gave it away. Top Gun, Top Secret.
Yeah. So they were in a scene together in somewhat of a Batcave, and then flash forward 20 years later, and they're playing Batman and Alfred. There you go.
There you go.
There
So
you
they were ready for it. They were ready for
ready.
this role.
Yeah.
They were made for this role.
Right.
This is a good one. This is a good way to start our mountain.
was.
So we're gonna keep this going. Alex, you're next up. Give us your criteria. What kind of went in your thought process here, and then we're gonna get started with your Rosie.
Yeah. I'm going to go back and echo Jeff. It's character, story, soundtrack, and kind of where it was at that time. To me, it is one of those. When I think about Batman movies, you once again, 1989 kicked off. I'm gonna start with 1989. Kicked off the Danny Elfman period, right? And then you go into kind of the Joel Schumacher area, which one out of the two were good. And then we start going down to the realistic part, which that's when I start thinking about, like, yeah, I could, you could be Batman. One of the things I lived in Chicago from 2005 to 2008 when they filmed Batman in Chicago. So literally I was driving through Gotham. And if anybody's ever been to Chicago, one of the best places to drive through is Lower Wacker Drive, which is where they filmed so much of, especially the second movie down there where, and so I would love to drive through Lower Wacker in my car from one end of Chicago over to Lakeshore Drive on Lower Wacker, pretending I was driving a Batmobile, flying through, and everybody in Chicago did it. It was so cool to do that. So to me, it's once again, so those criteria is where you were. My Rosie, I'm gonna actually start with Batman Returns.
Nice.
Was it as good as Batman 1989? No, it wasn't. But I like the fact that it was set in over the holidays, so it was Christmas, right? So it kind of fits within that Tim Burton kind of weird Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie.
This one is a Christmas movie. Yes,
just like Die Hard.
I agree.
Just like Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
We could talk about that, but continue.
To me, I like it just because it's a great follow up to where he started. It's still got that weird Tim Burton soundtrack, Danny Elfman soundtrack. The music on top of that is like you really can't beat Danny Elfman on when he works with Tim Burton. They come up some really beautiful stuff together. On top of that is you get great cast: Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer, hands down, still the best Catwoman. From Danny DeVito, I think he was overacting half the time, but that's what made it fun, right? He kind of was. We went for a really dark, brooding movie with Batman Returns, and then you had Danny DeVito just making it fun, and then you had the action part with Michelle Pfeiffer, which was, once again, she was amazing. So, to me, the gadgets that were all introduced in Batman Returns were a lot of fun to see. Watching the Batmobile become like basically kind of a missile, the Bat missile. I think that's what it was. Overall, and then of course, Christopher Walken. Anything Christopher Walken is, you forget about who's in it. You're like, oh yeah, Christopher Walken was in it. He was a subplot, but he was another top character right there. You could not. That cast was loaded. And if you want to go further, the guy who played in the Program, who played Christopher Walken's son, I can't remember his name, but he was in it too. So you have all these different actors playing, really great, strong characters in there. I would have loved if Tim Burton would have hung out and made a third movie. I thought that would have been great to kind of end up the trilogy. But to me, it's like Batman Returns still holds up. I watched it again. It still holds up. It's a fun movie to watch. Like you said, it is a Christmas movie, so it's not in so it takes it at a different element because it's a different season as well. And like I said, it's still one of those things where it's a lot darker than the first one. And probably one of everybody always says it's a really dark Batman movie, but reality is, it's Christmas. Yeah. So, it's wintertime. So, yeah, it kind of fits. So
I love
that's
that.
where I'm going with that.
I love this pick. Also, if we want to go a little bit deeper in the cast too, Paul Rubens.
That's right.
Penguin's dad.
Yep.
Hey,
So-
speaking of Paul Rubens, I don't always love documentaries. You know that, Andy. But have you seen that documentary about?
No,
him?
I need to watch it.
I started watching the beginning, and it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It talks about his lifestyle and all that. Anyways, this is a great pick. My first Benjamin off the board is this one. Nope. Listen, it could be on my number one. but I kind of went a little different way with my criteria,
Mhm.
and which kept it off. I love this movie. It is one of the darker sides. It is probably my most watched out of all of these. I've probably seen this one. I probably have seen this one the most. I feel like it was just the right time of how old I was, kind of just watching movies. Um, and of course, loved Catwoman. But my favorite character is Danny DeVito's character in this. The Penguin is just. I remember so. Barry mentioned 1966 over there, and oh, by the way, welcome PNX. I didn't get to say hello. I didn't want to interrupt Alex. Dave, I was a huge comic book nerd as a kid in the 80s. Everyone loved the Batman, but the big screen. It wasn't campy, the Adam West version, but I couldn't get past Tim Burtonification of those. I love Tim Burton. Tim Burton is way up my list on directors. I love Tim Burton and everything he does. That's about as dark as I really want anything to be anymore. Patrick Little, Paul Rubin played the Penguin's dad in Gotham as well, and yeah. And Patrick, thank you for that. So with that being said, yeah, this is my first one off the board. But watching the 1966 and even kind of reading some of the comic books, I wasn't like a big comic book reader. I was a big comic book collector because reading is for dummies. I don't know. I just didn't like reading, so I like looking at the pictures. I love buying comic books. I never really read them. Wanted to keep them pristine, and I didn't really know much about the Penguin. And like seeing the Penguin in '66 and seeing the Penguin now, I just was like, this guy is crazy. Like he's like eating fish and like weird hands and all the stuff that was in the nose and all that. I just really like this Penguin adaptation, and I like the dark side of it. But I wish Burton would have finished the series run. But I love that he didn't because it's kind of nostalgic on how it all panned out.
Kirk, I was going to say, when you think about the Penguin, I watch It's Always Sunny, and Danny DeVito's obviously in that show. And so every time I watch him, it's like, well, it's kind of like another version of the Penguin. Like he's just chaotic in that show. So to me, it's like that's just the Penguin continued, right?
Ridiculous movie. Pee-wee. Tim Burton's best movie is Big Adventure. I want to hear. I won't hear anything else. Okay. Top 4 Batmobiles. That'd be a good one. There, I would probably have to pull them all up again and look at them, but because I can't just like that. I went back and looked. Dennis mentioned it.
There's one. Look at Jeff.
Dennis mentioned it. There, yeah. Look at that. Is that Go did all of them, and I was trying to remember like when he stopped and I didn't honestly I didn't know his name, but yeah, he was definitely in the 4 films as Alfred. So yeah, the only comic book I've ever read is Sonic IDW comics and Captain Underpants, if that counts. And Bryce said the Sonic comics are so good. Hey, I love this pick. Great pick. Andy, you are up.
Yeah.
And I'm anxious to see your criteria.
Yeah. Well, my criteria is not going to be that exciting. It just was Batman movies that I watched. So that's not really. And again, I've seen a lot of them. Benjamin's is where it's going to get a little bit different. But for my top 4, I can easily pick these ones. I will say what did I don't necessarily know if this was criteria. This was criteria for me, like enjoying Batman movies in general. I'm not a comic book guy, never have been. I mean, I appreciate it's cool, I like artwork, I like all that kind of stuff, but I never really got into them. So as far as like, and it's just like people who like are readers before they watch the movie that's based on the book. They're like, they go so far, they stray away, they don't put all this stuff. And I get that. I just never read it, so I enjoy the movie probably more than other ones do because I don't have that, preconceived of what it should be or what it can be. So that helped me with movies, right? Because a lot of the movies that I like, Batman specifically, a lot of people don't like, and but I don't care because I just like them. But with that said, again, it's not necessarily a criteria for my picks. That just helps me pick which ones are the ones that I like. My Rosie, though, is going to be actually my newest one on the list. And I, believe it or not, actually did not watch this until I was mid-air in between South America and North, or somewhere. It was when we were going to Argentina. So you're on board flights. This last time I actually watched 2 Batman movies, believe it or not, because it's a great pick. It's like that or movies I don't care about. So I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll pick these ones. This is my newest one. I find that it's one of the more different ones, at least, in the realm of when you think Batman movies. I'm going to 2022. I'm going to The Batman as my Rosie. I liked the take that this took, the really gritty. Now they had been going in that gritty route with a lot of these other ones, but this one took a totally different, more broody Robert Pattinson playing Batman. I did like the soundtrack for this one too, believe it or not. This was a really cool because it fit the movie so well. It was really dark. That Nirvana song, "Something in the Way," that plays like the whole movie almost, was really cool. I liked how dark this movie was. It was one of those, again, watching it over the air in wherever we were on this tiny little screen right in front of me on an airplane. Changed kind of maybe the aura a little bit there, but it was definitely a fun one. I like that it's kind of more in that detective kind of realm of things. I also, we talked about, how the Penguin is in the last movie we talked about. He's a totally different Penguin here, right? Totally just mob boss kind of Penguin guy. I will say, it was interesting to see because that Colin Farrell is him, and every time I look at the Penguin from the Batman, I don't believe that that's Colin Farrell. It's so like it's the amount of prosthetics and just change that they did to his face in this one is crazy. But yeah, I mean, Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, you had again Colin Farrell, John Turturro is in it. Andy Serkis is Alfred in this one. I like Andy Serkis a lot. So Peter Sarsgaard. I mean, it's a pretty good cast here too. It's an interesting take, totally different than what maybe we had seen up to this point. But I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to go with The Batman as my Rosie.
Dude, this is a stellar pick. It is.
Yeah.
It would have been my first off. This is my number 5 because of my criteria. But the only reason it probably isn't in my top 4 is it's not as nostalgic.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that.
But it is one of my favorite movies. Honestly, I love it to death. I love the take they're going. I was very nervous having Sparkle Bat, but he was amazing.
No, he was great.
He was great. He look if
he's emo Batman.
It's emo Batman. Yeah.
Listen, if you come at me with he shouldn't have been Batman, I don't know. I think he did it perfect. I love the detective side of it. I love how it's more detective comics, like the original stuff. It kind of goes back into that kind of thing. The Riddler is a weird take, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. And like Declan said, he's saying that's his introduction to Paul Dano. Like, he was kind of creepy, man, and it was a cool little thing. And what you said about Colin Farrell is on point. Have you watched? And I know you haven't. And this is have you watched in the chat because I know you haven't. The show, The Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a few. I think the first episode and some change. Colin Farrell is underrated, bro. He is a very good actor, and this character is just cool because he doesn't even look anything like it. So good pick. I do want to say hello to Papa and Baby Bear. Papa, we've been saying it for a while. We're booking sports and food. If you want to be on the show for sports and food, we'd love to have you for sports or food. Sports is September and October, and food is November and December. Let us know, man. We'd love to have you on this show. And that goes to everybody. Declan, Patrick, and anybody else that wants to be on, let us know. But yeah, Robert Pattinson is a beyond a good actor. You know, I'm not a Twilight fan. I never liked it, not because of the sparkle vampire, that kind of thing, and all that jazz. I didn't like it, and not because of necessarily the acting. I just didn't get into it. My kids were into it big time.
I will say this: I'm a big Paramore fan. My two favorite, my number one and my number two Paramore songs are both from the Twilight soundtracks. So it's crazy.
Hey, Papa says yes. Sports or food, it doesn't matter. Do me a favor, Papa. Either email us at the Rushmore Show or shoot us a message on Instagram. Our stuff is down there. Instagram or Facebook, it doesn't matter. And then we'll get the conversation going, and I'll send you an email, which I think I might have already done that. But thanks for being here, man. We miss you. We love you. And yeah, so I'm just not a huge fan of Twilight, but Paramore, yeah, man. You love Paramore, and it's big there. But he far surpassed it. So, guys below, you've been waiting patiently. The Batman. How you feeling about it? I'm ready for the next one.
Agreed. I'm going to say I was one of those people that looked at it just like you and probably said, hey, this guy can't play Batman. But you know what? Everybody said the same thing with Michael Keaton. So we should all learn our lesson and just go.
And Ben Affleck.
And Ben Affleck. And I'll tell you, Ben Affleck as well.
Yep.
So I will 100% say I eat my words on that one and say, yeah, Robert Pattinson did a great job in the Batman. Great story. Once again, excellent cast. And it was a great story. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the second one that's coming.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So that's going to be the continuation of that.
I just want to say that I acknowledge this. Toops, you're in, man. Welcome back. We'll get you on for food. And Papa says they're going to be in for food. So we've already done pizza. So we'll have to figure something else out. But we've already done pizza. But we can do something similar. We've already done Italian food too. But man, good pick, Jeff. The Batman.
Yeah, I went in with an open mind, and really, that's what anybody needed to do. There's such a protective thing when it comes to Batman and who's casted as Batman, and then all these keyboard warriors just come out the woods and it makes like national news of the backlash on who's casted for Batman. I've seen it so many times throughout my life, but no more than Sparkles, but you know what, the vision that they was trying to adapt for the Batman, they nailed it. He nailed it. It felt like a graphic novel. It was dark. It was very much a detective type of direction that they went into it. And I'm very excited to see what the next installment is going to be.
Yeah,
because
I want to get another one just because I want to see more bad guys in this world. Like I want to see what, Joker. Okay, that's what the Riddler looks like. What does the Joker look like? What does any of the Bane and Mr. Freeze and all the big guys, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn. I think it would be really cool take on some of those really cool villains, Catwoman. But we're only getting a little taste, and then hopefully they nail it because the Penguin's cool. But good pick.
I don't know how Clayface would really work in this world, but we could see.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting, but because they're kind of more like
mutants,
realistic, if you will. So some of the non-realistic ones might look a little weird, but I'm sure they'll figure it out.
They are trying to bring in the Clayface, though.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be
Two-Face. We need some Two-Face. I love Two-Face. Two-Face. So
all right.
Kirk,
we're at an hour and we're not even to your Rosie, so let's get into it.
Let's do it. Hey, so here's my criteria, real quick. Nostalgic, love the movies, and I tried to not choose multiple out of the series. That might ruin it with me. But if I pick one from the series, I tried to go to another series, and so I picked 4 of my favorite series. Kind of, except for one pick, and I'll explain that when I get to it. But number 4, my Rosie, I'm gonna pick the animated one, right? And I've watched a couple animated today. There are a bunch of animated movies I love traditionally, and I love the ones that kind of come off of the animated series because that's my favorite cartoon of all time. And I almost chose one of those, but I had to lean into one that, I mean, I have to give it its flowers. I really do. It's such a great film. And Andy, we've talked about this ad nauseum. You know we love that word, ad nauseum. We've talked about it a lot, but nothing makes a good movie than when it's well written. And I think one of the most well-written series out there is Lego. And I'm going Lego Batman for my number 4. Here's the deal. Batman was played by Will Arnett. Robin, Michael Cera, Ralph Fiennes was Alfred. Spinoff from obviously the Lego movie, which is one of the greatest movies written of all time. If you really watch that movie, there are so many Easter eggs. And then the Batman Lego movie did it as well. It only gets a 7.2, which I think is ludicrous from IMDb. But Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 89 to 91, 81% in the audience. Box office, it made about 176 million domestic and 312 worldwide. Lego is big box office. It's huge. The video games are huge. Lego Batman is hilarious. Lego Batman as a character in the other film is hilarious. Will Arnett is hilarious. I absolutely love this movie. Is it the best animated movie? I think it's the best written. Is it the most to the material? No. But it is the one I would probably watch multiple times over and over and over again, especially because my kid loves it. I'm coming in with number 4, my Rosie, really easy, Lego Batman.
Yeah, I just mentioned mine is the most different today. I think yours is the most different. I put it on my Benjamins knowing full well that you were taking it. So I knew it was going to be a wash anyway. But it's a great movie. I love Legos. I love what Jeff is showing us there. Look at that thing.
Yep.
Here he goes.
I'm Batman.
I like that Zach Galifianakis is the
Is that a
Joker.
3D printed one you got from like a show or something? Jeff,
Say that again?
is that a 3D printed one?
Oh no, this is actually a clock. I think it came from
wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so cool. Awesome. Hey, so a lot of people, I agree, Lego Batman's hilarious. Made 312 million, 80 million budget. Yeah, it's just crazy. Oh my word, I love Lego Batman. Yeah, me and my friends are cracking up all the time. Dude, Lego is just, these guys are on to something. It's so silly. A bunch of bricks that have no character, and they put it together, and it is like the most well-written, stupid, funny thing. And kids love it, and when adults watch it, you pick up a whole different movie. It is like, wow. That's, my kids don't understand what that is. Like, and just simple things like in the first movie, the spaceman, his little thing being broken, that to me is gold. Because that thing was always broken on the space thing, and they thought so down to the small details. I love this movie. I love the franchise. That's my number 4.
Yeah.
What do you boys think about
Great pick, Kirk. I was going to say that's also one of my Benjamins, but I'll tell you, Will Arnett, perfect casting. I mean, the guy, you just listen to him like, yeah, that's Batman. If you ever watch he does a Lego contestant show. And I forgot what
it's so Lego Masters.
Lego, it's hilarious, and he's perfect at it. Perfect.
So good.
So
and I can tell you, also an underrated actor. I love almost
absolutely.
everything. I love almost everything Will Arnett's in. He's just so good.
You
obviously
it's a great story. Yeah.
You love it.
Yeah.
Great pick. It's not on my Rushmore, but it's definitely one of my Benjamins. Batman, Lego, it's money. Lego, they're gonna make money regardless. Just the brand. Batman's gonna make money regardless. It's the brand. Will Arnett, he did a great job. You know, um, when you think about the voice of Batman, for me, I think Kevin Conroy, maybe some of y'all, but Will Arnett solidified himself as second best voice of Batman. But he did it in a totally different angle, totally different take. He just made it his own. And Lego Batman, I can't argue with that.
Hey, I want to just shout out, hello, welcome to the Summit Squad, Master Welch. Really quickly, it's the first time we got to do it today, but here you go, man. Welcome to the Summit Squad. The Twitch side, which we don't get a whole lot of love because we're not like playing video games all the time. But thanks for being here, and welcome to the show, and we appreciate you. If you want to join into what some of the other people are chatting, YouTube is usually where they're all chatting. You can join us over there. But hey, so for sake of kind of speeding up the show a little bit, let's jump to the start back up and do Link. Jeff.
TJ Jazzy Jeff, you mean?
What's your TJ Jazzy Jeff, which is number 3 on the mountain, your second pick for today?
Okay, so far, we've had Batman Forever, we've had Alex with Batman Returns, and
Lego
Andy,
Batman and
the Batman. Okay, so how does the Rushmore work?
Yeah, all right.
You can do that. Here we go. Ready? And
Let's do it. Not only is this on the Mount Rushmore of Batman movies for me, it's also on the Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies. Alex said
it is.
Batman Returns. I think about I think about Batman, and I think about like I said earlier, it's not just about the movie, but this movie was incredible. This was Tim Burton on steroids. This was everything he wanted to do, and that's the thing that really intrigues me is what would the third Tim Burton Batman movie look like? Because the second one, Batman Returns, was totally his identity. It was everything that I guess he envisioned to do. And I did want to say one thing. There is a comic series called Batman '89, and it kind of portrays what that Tim Burton future would have looked like. And so, but going back into Batman Returns, man, just the marketing was great, and there was some backlash with Batman Returns because there was, the McDonald's was pushing it so much, which also has the Happy Meal bag there. I have all the toys still in the wrapper.
dude, that's awesome.
Man, just there it is on VHS. Dude, the video games. That's something else about Batman is it's gonna sell merchandise. Video games, whether it's a good video game or not, it's gonna sell. But the thing about Batman Returns, getting back into the movie, is it told us that all characters wear masks, not just Batman. It's about the human tendency to become what the world pushes us to be and whether redemption is possible. And that's how I look at it. It's kind of deep, I know, but you really saw more of a human side of the Penguin. You kind of had sympathy for him, his humble beginnings and just really coming from the gutters. And really, he just wanted to discover who his parents were, it really hit home for me because I'm adopted. I didn't know who my dad was until much later in life when it was actually through Ancestry DNA. I discovered I had other siblings out there, and then really got to pinpoint who my biological father was. So I would never become this villain like the Penguin, but I could kind of see what he was trying to do. And it's just there's a lot of psychology when it came to Tim Burton in general, but especially in his movie Batman Returns. Just a great movie. My wife argues with me all the time. This is not a Christmas movie. Why are we watching this around Christmas? And no, it's a Christmas movie. It's a Batman movie. It's a Tim Burton movie that it was a masterpiece. And
Yeah.
so that is my pick. That's all I
I
have to
love
say
it. I
about
love
that.
it. Hey, I just want to say this real quick. We're up to 24 because we got a Fat Boy raid right now. Fat Boys Gaming and Nonsense.
Hey,
If you
DJ
came
Wise
over
in
from
the
there,
house, Master
thank you.
Welch. Hey, so Master Welch, Lego My Ego, he came over from the Twitch side, I'm assuming.
Yes, it is Prime
Prime
One.
One in the house. Prime One is one of my favorite people to watch when I'm lurking on the trolls, and he's just hates on them too. But I love that.
It is
Fat Boy
absolutely a Christmas
Show,
movie.
20 like hype. Yeah, let's get that like hype even higher. I'm gonna send Master Welch sending you over a wrench because you're new to the show. Thanks for being here. And DJ Wise, it is definitely a Christmas movie. Thank you, James. Tell Bethany hello for us. And this time, I would say for you to go slap her, but that would not be cool. Just don't get hit again by her. That would be awesome. Thank you guys for all being here. And since we've already chatted about this one at length, and we're kind of, dude, we're way. Oh, yeah. Prime One is Diablo Destroy. Listen, I don't want to get on that train.
We don't need to get into that. Okay,
we're not on that train. We will derail this place. But yes, Prime One is a super mod. I love him to death. Thank you for being here, guys. If you're a member, drop those emojis in the chat. Hit the like button. Welcome here. Next on the list, Alex, you're up. Go.
You know, I'll tell you the next one is, for me, started the new kind of I'm going to say the reboot, right? Going back, I mean, you think about Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
It's the reboot. It's Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Was it the best one? No, it wasn't. But you know what? For me, it's one of those things too, nostalgia, right? I just moved to Chicago in 2005. Watching that movie, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm in Gotham. The other part of that too was it had a great cast. I mean, Christian Bale, great actor. Once again, another great actor. Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, he was in that movie. And then, of course, you know, then you go further back, Michael Caine and Liam Neeson. So for me, it was a great cast. Was it a great story? No, but I like the idea of trying to, once it goes back to the whole part, it's a guy that one day realizes he has everything in the world, wants to do better for Gotham, wants to, you know, kind of basically fulfill his parents' dream of building that monorail right through Gotham, and decides that, hey, I want to come. I love it when he comes back off of his little, you know, he does his whole retreat for a number of years, and he comes back, and all of a sudden he's really taken over the company, kind of makes it his own. So I thought it was a fun take on Bruce Wayne. I thought a really grounded Batman in realism, once again, with the tech gear and all that stuff. And if you watch the documentaries, they tell you all about it. They actually did take military gear and make the bat suit out of it. So to me, I will say that my number 3 is Batman Begins.
I love that. You know, Morgan Freeman. I will say this.
Yep. Sorry.
I think Michael Caine's my favorite Alfred, but I love Michael Caine, and I just want to hear him talk all the time. If you can get Michael Caine's voice and Morgan Freeman's voice on the exact same movie, you have struck gold. And they did that here. Michael Caine. He's also the best. The best Scrooge ever, but that's a side note that we can talk about. Michael Caine is the best.
Hey, so Master Welch, thanks for being here. I sent you a wrench. Harold and Kumar, like I said over there in the chat, can't wait to see what the Cobra Kai guys do with it. They got picked to do Harold and Kumar 4, if you guys didn't see that. But yeah, excited about that. That's pretty cool. Hey, Batman Begins, 8.2 on IMDb, 85% Rotten Tomatoes, 100% of the people love the casting. Great movie, best series. That's not for me. That's awesome. It's not a surprise. Oh, surprise! All you have to do is watch the show before. We've already done DC movies. We've done other things, and I've talked about this at nauseum at length. Yeah. But
and Gary Oldman as Gordon. I mean, Gary Oldman is
so good. Let me tell you one of my favorite things about this movie, and then I'll move on because it is also another Benjamin of mine, and we're losing Benny's fast. My favorite part about this is seeing a different kind of origin of Batman. Like actually seeing him getting trained, Ra's al Ghul. We're seeing all of that stuff kind of happen. And the whole well thing and the bats and all of that stuff. Just a great take. I applaud Christopher Nolan. This is a good pick. And Alex, I understand why you picked it, for sure, because it's probably my 6 after the Batman. Good pick.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jeff, any other thoughts on this one?
I was gonna save my feedback, but no.
Okay, that's good. You could say
No,
it.
you can
We all
say
know
it.
what that means.
We know what that means. Hey, Prime says 1989 is the best one for me. The cast, the soundtrack won me over. Dude, I love that, Prime. Because I'm old too, so I'm stuck in my past. Hey, I mean, I don't know how old you are, Prime. I'm 46. I love that movie. So there you go. Andy, you're up, man.
Well, Jeff, did you want to say anything? I didn't mean to cut
I
you
will
off there.
say, I will say this: Christopher Nolan is one of the greatest directors of all time. You do a Mount Rushmore of him, and he's somewhere up there. He might be number one.
We've done directors, and he was on a lot of ours.
Okay, I'll save
Yeah.
the rest.
Yeah, all right.
I'm
Well, I'll go to
42, so
mine.
you're a little behind me. And that's Alex. You're probably about 42-ish, huh? Maybe a little older. No, you're older than me, huh? You're older than me, huh?
About 40, I think 47.
You think 47?
Yeah,
That means you're old.
I think.
Jeff, how old
Yeah.
are you?
35.
And so you and Andy are the same age, and me and Alex are the same age. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, let me
Andy,
say
you're
this.
up.
My 35-year-old self is gonna be clear right here. My age is much higher than the Rotten Tomato rating for this movie.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I don't care because I absolutely love it. It's horrible.
Out.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I'm telling you, it's horrible. But that's why I love it. Give me bat nipples. Give me Batman and Robin, George Clooney. I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bane as this, Uma Thurman, Poison Ivy. I fought to make this my George, and it's not because it's a good movie. I will cede that to you. I will let you know it's not a good movie, but it's a great movie because it's not good. This is nostalgia 100% for me. I love how horribly campy, cheesy, comic booky, over the top, ridiculous this movie is. I love every single pun that Arnold makes in this. There's literally a ranking list that I just pulled up. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. Let's kick some ice. Yeah, everything about the whole hockey fight scene is beautiful. This movie is so bad. I know it, but I have a deep love for like. There's a difference, and I think we can agree. I think we can at least meet here. There's a difference between movies that are just bad, like that movie just sucks, and movies that are to the next level, but there's enough nostalgia to it where you're like, this is so good. It's so bad that it's so good. We've been on podcasts before with friends talking about movies that fit into that realm. This certainly is in there. I think this has an 11 on Rotten Tomatoes. I really think like this is one of the lowest rated movies of all time. But there's just a place in my heart for Batman and Robin. I don't know what else to say other than I love it. I understand that they mess everything up. I understand nothing is correct. I understand that the acting, I understand bat nipples and the hate for it. I get it. But still I love it. So it had to make my list. And it was my 4 because I was being nice, but I'm like, nostalgia has so much weight in my rankings that it single-handedly carries this movie. Could have potentially to the George, but I still want to be a host on this show, so I couldn't put it up that high.
I watched I rewatched this last time we chatted about DC and all that stuff, and I was like, man, I got to go rewatch it. I haven't seen it in so long. And honestly, I was so entertained.
It's-
Probably for different reasons from when I was like 10 or 12 or whatever it was. But I was just so entertained. I was watching, just laughing. I was like, man, this is funny. It's great. It's campy. It's kind of like Schumacher's nod to 1966. How stupid and campy can we make it? But it's fun and it's good. And it's 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.8 IMDb. 87% love the visuals. That's what it says. George Clooney, not the best Batman, right?
No, not at all.
Probably one of the better Bruce Waynes, though. I think he fit Bruce Wayne pretty decently. But you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This is where you go. This is nostalgia driven, and it's a good pick. Good pick.
That's a bold choice, Andy. It's a bold choice.
Listen, if there's anything I'm used to doing, it's bold choices on this show. And this had to be mentioned.
You know, and I respect you for this choice. I mean,
yeah, you should. It's a bold choice.
I do. And you know, you look at it, the visuals are all over. I mean, all over the place. But no story, not really. But overall, you're right. If you're watching it just for pure entertainment, I will give you that. I will give you that. Arnold Schwarzenegger in that role. Once again, it's everything he says. You just got to take it.
Honestly, if he wasn't in it, it probably would be a little worse.
It would be my favorite in that movie. Arnold makes the movie.
And you got Uma Thurman in too. You forget that
Uma's in it too.
Yeah. So I mean,
I will say, just Jeff, before I get to you real quick, but just to give a little bit of a picture, if you don't know me well, I loved those bad movies. I loved watching Mystery Science Theater 3000 with my dad, because they would watch these cheesy, over-the-top movies and just laugh and make fun of it. That's what I love about this movie. It's so bad. I know it. But it's so funny, and I don't know if it was supposed to be. But, yeah. So, there you go. Perfect timing, Declan. Yeah. Anyway, Jeff, give me your thoughts if I'm not ruining this for you.
The best part of your pick was your Arnold voice impressions. Stop the show. I want to hear Andy Schwarzenegger do Arnold voice impressions for the rest of the show.
Cool party.
Oh, man.
It's a cold town. Allow me to break the ice. Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
So funny, man, and that brings you right back. It brings you right back. Hey, so my next pick.
I surprisingly didn't get as much hate as I thought I would for that one.
No, I mean,
I know nobody likes it.
It's a bad movie, but on this show, it should be like applauded because we cheer for nostalgia more so than the best. We're gonna give our best 4. They would probably all be Nolan movies and maybe one more, right? If you're talking about the best. And so that would be boring as all get out. Maybe the 3 Nolan and the Batman. And
pause for a minute. That's exactly why we do the Rushmore Show.
Exactly.
It's for picks like this, because I don't give a rip about what the critics think of the top 4, because that doesn't matter. What's my favorite?
Correct.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. But yeah, anyway.
Okay, so here's the thing. You know, as much as I love Batman and Robin, I have to go with the other Schumacher. You know what I'm saying? I'm going. We're crushing again, and I'm going with Jim Carrey, man. Listen, I love Edward Nygma. I love everything about this. So when you go back, you have the Burton side of things, and you have the Schumacher side of things, and the Schumacher side of things is much more neon, much more lights, much more just kind of. The costumes are outrageous. And as much as I love Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, the soundtrack, everything Jeff said, everything that was said in the chat, it is just so nostalgia-driven for me. I went to the theater and seen this movie. I remember it very well going with friends and watching this and being all in for, you know, kind of watching how this thing panned out. You know, not only did you get Bat Nip, but you got Bat Butt, you know, and then you got Val Kilmer, right? You got Val Kilmer is one of my favorite guys, just past RIP. You know, we have talked about him before, you know, he just how much he's done in his life. You know, we mentioned some with Top Secret, Top Gun, Willow, and all that stuff. But this, to me, is a defining moment when you get a Batman role, right? Just like when you get a Joker role. It's a big deal in the world of acting. And I enjoyed Val Kilmer, and I enjoyed this film. As far as Schumacher's side, love the scene, the take, and I do agree with Jeff. I would love to see number 3 as a Burton take from the, you know, continuation, because I think it would have went a whole different section. But I remember at the time I was a huge Carrey fan, Jim Carrey fan, and it like my eyes were like, and you know, Two-Face, like there's so many good things that are happening in this film of nostalgia, and I think we already mentioned all the stats for it, but I'm gonna just kind of reiterate real quickly with some of the other side of things, you know, with not just the IMDb and all that, but for Batman Forever, 1995, third film in the Burton Schumacher era. It's when Keaton bows out. It was a 5.4 IMDb, 39%, 33% Rotten Tomatoes. Domestically, it made 184 million. Internationally, 152 million. So worldwide, $336 million. That's a lot of money. And congratulations, I'm going with Forever.
Yeah, obviously, great pick. Still campy, still funny, over the top. It's great. It's great. I mean, for all the reasons that we've shared before. But I love this. I love this pick.
Dennis says Link is his Dark Knight. George is Returns. Rosie, Batman and Robin. He's right on board with you. And TJ is 89. Alex says Drew Barrymore was in it too. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
That's kind of her comeback. That was starting.
We have a mystery science theater discussion stream in the future. We should. We Campy Movies is great. Y'all have a great stream. 4 a.m. comes early. See you down the road, Fat Boy. And thanks for being here. We love you, man.
Hey, Fat Boy, if you haven't left yet, you did ask me to say it. Get to the chopper.
Yeah, there you
that
go.
was for you. That was for you.
So
Yahoo!
Y'all want to add anything to that before we jump into halftime?
I'll agree with you. Really quick. Val Kilmer, excellent Batman. He had the gel. He had the jaw.
Yeah, that's right.
For him, he looked the part. So I think it would have been fun to see him in a second movie as well.
Yeah, Kilmer, you know, I'm a Heat guy, you know, and I love and so we talked about that. I just really like Val Kilmer. He was a good guy. He was, as far as nostalgia goes, he's on my list, man. Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's jump into halftime. So we're halfway there. Living on a Prayer. Here we go. Couple things. Number one, we'll talk about conventions first, since Jeff's in the house. We met Jeff at a Louisiana Retro Con, and the next one coming up is first week of August. We'll be there. It's Super Mario themed. We'll be preaching on Super Mario. We'll have some giveaways. I'll probably go around and get some of the guys that do some giveaways. Come on over, sign your name, spin the wheel, and you'll probably win some giveaways at our booth. We'll pray with you. We'll hang out with you. We'll talk with you, and just love to chat your top fours. We'll get you on the show if you want to do some shorts, and we'll be preaching there. It's so awesome that these guys welcome us to come on in and hang out with them. But then they also give us an opportunity to preach the word, nerd in the word. And so it's down there behind the chat, but that is reboot. You need a reboot to have a rebirth, and a rebirth is to be reborn, and reborn is how you have to become a Christian. And nerdy, geeky way, we're the unconventional ministry because we do it at conventions, and that's weird. And we like to be weird. You can see some of our messages on our home page. And you go back and look. We preached on Vader. We preached on R2-D2, Sonic the Hedgehog. We preached on The Lion King, Mufasa. We preached on all kinds of stuff.
X-Men 97.
Excuse me?
X-Men 97.
Go and check them out. And thanks for being here. Andy, let's talk about the friends over on your shoulder, the Culture Box. And hey, we did these guys last week. I think you did Retro Rewind podcast last week. Did we not?
No, I did Cellcast last week.
We did Cellcast last week. So let's do Retro Rewind podcast.
Let's do that.
Something to say about it.
Yeah. Well, check out our friends over at Retro Rewind.
Every other week, join the Retro Rewind Pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. Expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and rotating guest hosts who are all out of time.
So, real quickly, I would like to share my screen right now and tell you a little bit about this because this is junk. This is our buddies. Can you see that? Can you see that,
Yep.
Andy?
Yeah.
So our buddies over at Retro Rewind Podcast, he is a actual board game designer, and he just announced that on June 30th or 31st, end of June, he is finally launching the game. I've been watching him. Me and Andy have watched him make this game for the last year and a half to 2 years, and I've actually played it several times with him. There's a Kickstarter pre-launch out there right now. If you want to go click on it, it doesn't cost you anything, but you can get some information by him sending, so you'll know when it launches. It would be a really cool gift to him to just blow that up. It's at junkyardjuggernauts.com. But this is the board game. It's a really hard game if you like very in-depth games, kind of role-playing-esque type games, kind of things that involve Dungeons and Dragons-ish type things. There's a lot of pieces and parts, but you can come over here and fill it in. And as you can see, you play with these big mechs, and you have to destroy them with all these cool cards. And it launches coming up in the next few weeks. I am so excited for him, and actually you can go to Junkyard Juggernauts, Retro Rewind Podcast. You can go and play it, and do a review on it and those kind of things. Go check it out for him, please. He just announced that it's finally kicking off. So let's get back to you, Andy, and I'll stop sharing. So let's do our favorite coffee.
Hey, real
Whoa!
quick, Prime One. I just wanted to shout out, man. Thank you. Gifting 50 memberships just now, man.
50 membership dono Prime. Look.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Let me just tell you guys, we're not here to make any numbers. We don't need any donations. Here's the deal. And what's funny is I kind of challenged a little troll out there who likes to hate on donos. Let me tell you what the donos do for us. We go to all these conventions and preach the word. It helps us get there and get back. Sometimes we have to take flights. Sometimes we have to do whatever. But we're designing a Devo book, a couple of them. Here's some inspirations of some other video game Devo guys. We're doing all that. It will all go towards that. And any extra totally helps. Thank you so much for being here and growing our community, Prime One. I can't say thank you enough. That is just amazing.
Appreciate you, man. Thank
we
you.
appreciate you so much. In Prime One, we're going to be doing some videos on some announcements on our members, and you'll be on that video too. Here's another thing, Andy. Let me shout out those members real quick. Well, no, while I pull it up, tell us about our coffee.
Yeah, let's check out the official coffee of the Rushmore Show.
Let's face it, at-home coffee can be pretty stale. Coffee at home doesn't have to be boring. The Village Coffee is here to deliver the flavor. The Village Coffee roasts coffee every week and sells online. Go to villagebeans.com to order your coffee today and use discount code RUSHMORE for free shipping.
Yeah, man. Dude, tell Andy, what's your favorite flavor of coffee? What could get you
Well,
there?
yeah, I'm still on the Mexico. Ethiopia is slowly creeping in. I will say this though, he's got a Brazil roast now that is edging up there too. They're all fantastic. So he's got that Colombia, cold brew. He's got merch out there too. If you're local, he's got a coffee cart he can bring to do events at. Uh, Go check out the Village Coffee. I just put it in the comments there. You can use that promo code, get free shipping. It is some of the best. You can do if you want the grounds or if you want the K cups, whatever it is you want. He's got it there for you. Go check it out today. Show some love to the Village Coffee.
Hey, yeah. So, a couple things. The memberships. There are some members out there. We actually have a ton of members now. We got some members at the George level, which is really cool. Let me just shout them out right now. Ian and Becca Comics, Johnny Small Pepper, Risen, Christina Payne. We love Christina. Well, I guess it's Spuat, which is Justin Tubes. So yeah, Garfin the Bopper Productions, Three Good Nerds, who's going to be on the show coming up soon. Yoda's Blessed Life, The Real Life Perspective, who's been on the show. Barrett, Bayhurst, Bill Keys, our favorite guy. Retro Rob is one of our amazing guys. Retro Cannon, that's my son. Go follow him. Barry, Jessica, Dusty Flotilla, Little Timmy. Little Timmy is a member now. Obviously, Hammy and Son. Dark Link, who purchased a bunch last time we were here, which was amazing. Jay Thompson, Kenneth Bird, Retro Tiburon, Revs J, Mental Journey, Bryce JW. Those are all the guys at a George level. If you're at a George level, here's what I'd love to share with you. That we are going, you have a chance to pick a retro rewind, if you will, a retro reboot. And we're going to go in and relook at our video and do a new one, right? And so Andy's done one before with his Nintendo 64 games. But you guys, if you're one of the members, you get to pick us to redo that again. You also get cool emojis in the chat. And anybody at a George level, we will make a video promo for you here. And so we'll probably just put them all together and shout you guys out your channels. And so that's just amazing. Thank you for being here. And we also have Patrick Little and Danielle Davis at a link level. Thank you for being here. Patrick Little is in the chat. He was in the chat. And Danielle Davis. Andy, let's get back to the show.
Let's do it.
Thank you guys so much. It is back to you. Jeff, what is your link? Speaking of Dark Link, what's your link?
First off, I really wish I had some coffee right now.
Hey, you can order it. He's local. He's here. You'll get it in very quickly. I'm just saying. I know that he's a good friend of mine and he's part of the show, but
he's from the Georgia area, right?
No, he's Louisiana. He's literally here at my church. He's on staff at my church.
So Andy lives in the New Orleans area. I live in the Georgia area, but I'm from the New Orleans area.
All right. For some reason I thought Andy lived in Georgia as well.
I'm in Slidell, baby.
He lives in the Slidell area.
Why am I just now finding this out, man? We could have been hanging out.
Bro, we're not far from each other.
Born and raised over there in Slidell, and then and that's how we met. We were at the same church. I left to be a missionary to come over and do homelessness and sex trafficking in the city of Atlanta. When I left, Andy, about a year and some change later, and some more classically trained and going to school and whatever, he was bestowed my old position, and we've been best friends ever since. He served under me, and now I come back in like 3 weeks, and I'll serve under him. So we're going to camp together. So, hey, we got a new friend in the chat, Drew Williams. Well, Drew Williams, welcome to the show. Yo, Alex, this must be one of Alex's buds. Thanks for being here. And Drew, I'm going to throw you a wrench because you're a friend. And welcome to the Summit Squad. Thanks for hanging out, man. So, Drew, Jeff, you're up, man.
All right. So for my my next pick, my next pick is not just a Batman movie. It's not just a superhero film. It's a spiritual trial of what it means to be good when everything falls apart. When everything is just chaos around you. Are you going to remain good? Are you going to conform to the chaos? Are you going to do what you know is right? Are you going to bend a little bit to conform to the corrupt. And that's why my next pick is one of the most iconic Batman movies of all time. Um, it's The Dark Knight. And I love this movie so much. While I was in college, there was a period of my life where every Tuesday I would watch The Dark Knight, mainly because I had a gap in between classes. And so while I'm preparing for my next class, kind of cramming and stuff, I'll put The Dark Knight on. And it's just, each time I watched it, there was an element of the movie that I didn't recognize before. And so Christopher Nolan, as I mentioned before, is one of the most iconic, just masterful directors that's ever lived. What he was able to do with The Dark Knight and really the whole trilogy, I have it here. And I'm just going to give you a spoiler that there's going to be no more Christopher Nolan movies. I try to pick one movie for each era, and so for the trilogy, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, my mind's going blank. um
Rise.
Rises. Yeah. Dark Knight Rises, which I am a big fan of. I really love that third installment of that trilogy. But The Dark Knight has to be the poster child. Not just because of Christopher Nolan, not just because of Christian Bale, but because of the Joker, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, him dying, him passing away, the tragic way he did, it added more to the movie. Just there's so much to it, so many elements. It was a style of Batman that most people just they weren't used to seeing. It was more of a realistic element that you could kind of feel like you can relate to in a way. Tim Burton's Batman, his setting of Gotham, we couldn't really relate. It was like over the top weird, but Christopher Nolan's Gotham, man, we can relate to that. Corrupt
Mm-hmm.
politicians, corrupt judges, um, people in high places that just uh, don't have the people's best interests at heart. But you have a guy in Bruce Wayne, Christopher Nolan's Bruce Wayne, that he's gonna stick to doing what's right no matter what. Even if his romance, his crush is taken away, he's gonna stick to what he believes is right. And so that's why The Dark Knight is no doubt one of the top Batman movies that's ever been created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ditto. Ditto. Can I just say that? This is a great pick. I mean, there was no doubt. Nobody's joining in tonight saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they said The Dark Knight." I mean, that's not one of those ones that. Yeah, this is a fantastic pick. Everything you said.
Great pick. And spoiler alert. I mean, we all love it, so we're probably gonna talk about it more. So let's just keep moving and see when we talk about it more, because it's gonna happen. I know.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Alex, you're up next, man. What you got?
Go ahead and hit the. Go ahead, Kirk.
Oh,
Hit the
here we
button.
go.
Hit the
Here we
button.
go.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. Number two. I mean, I already kind of said it at the beginning of the intro of living in Chicago during that time frame, watching, I've seen that. The coolest thing is going from work and seeing the Gotham helicopter ruins because they filmed it the night before, sitting, on the street. The beginning bank vault was the old post office in Chicago that they used. You could see everything lined up, Gotham police cars lined up everywhere. I mean, I got to drive through the set, got to walk through the set, and I was just walking just to work. I told you already a whole part of like driving under Lower Wacker. That was, once again, you pretend you're Batman, driving through that whole scene where they flipped over the semi-trailer. I was filmed in Lower Wacker, and I drove past it. So everything that you just said about this, Jeff, is right on. I mean, and it's also a human tragedy. I mean, you think about Aaron Eckhart, he played, going back to what Kirk said about Two-Face. That's a human tragedy right there. It is a person that's trying to do the right thing in politics, and look what happens, right? And the Joker kind of pushed him, which another amazing performance, but pushed him to that way where all of a sudden he became broken. And Batman's got to make that decision. And then at the end, Batman's the person who takes the blame for everything that's happened. And now he is not only the vigilante, but he is now the villain. It is such a great performance from every actor that's in that movie. But it's a tragedy. And like you said, it's one of those movies where you watch it, you pick something new up, you realize that, oh my gosh, this is a person that's just been beaten down, not only physically, mentally, emotionally, and then how do you get up from that, and how do you continue to move on from just everything that's happening? And it happens so it's not like weeks; it happens just in a really short amount period of time. It's just like I said, it guts you. You watch the end of it, it still guts you at the end when he's running off, and you see, Commissioner Gordon, or I don't even know he's a commissioner by this time, but you see him just going, he knows the truth, but he can't say the truth, and that hurts.
He can't handle the truth.
That can't handle the truth. There you go. So to me, that's Dark Knight.
Dude, I'll say this. This is, to me, the best from beginning to end story written in a superhero film.
No.
From beginning to end. From beginning to end in one film, not like adding all the other stuff. Because The Begins is awesome, Rises is awesome, but from seeing like when the Joker, when they bust the bank open with all the Jokers, and then he takes the mask off and he's still the Joker. Like, dude, it's just great cinema.
In the ferries, I mean, when they had put the two ferries out in the harbor and they had to make the choice, I mean,
it's well written. Hey, I want to shout out to Bill Keys, but I want to shout out something, which I don't know if you caught it, Andy. You saw it in the chat. Look at what Bill Keys got told by.
I know. Chill out.
Chill out. That was not planned. Nightbot is the AI whatever, and he doesn't like when people do caps, and so he just said chill out, and that's awesome. That's so funny. So they need to make a Batman versus Predator movie where all the enemies blame Batman for the murders, and he has to find out who's doing it. Of course, he needs a couple of guest actors. Hey, this is a great pick. Andy, you're up, bud.
All right. Well, but not The Dark Knight. I'm going to go with one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. I'm going Batman Returns. This is the other Batman movie that I watched in the. I mean, I've watched it before this, but I watched it the last time I went to Argentina. This is so good. I mean, for everything that we've talked about it so far, it's the right amount of campiness, with the big rubber ducks that penguins floating on and that fun stuff and all the weird, henchmen that he's got and eating the fish and all that stuff. But it's also really dark. It is a dark movie. It's the Tim Burton, all these things that we talked about before. I absolutely love this movie. There's not much more we can say about it that wasn't already said, but Batman Returns is the movie that was the best Batman movie, in my opinion, up to a certain point, which I'll get to in the George. But absolutely love this movie. Love the cast. Love just the visual, the style of it. Obviously, the Tim Burton side of things, and Catwoman is amazing in this movie. The whole origin kind of Catwoman too, and is really cool. I like how they tie that, because a lot of places, and again, I'm not well versed in the Batman world, but a lot of places like Catwoman or like some of these other characters are just thrown in as here's Catwoman, right? This is just another one. We know about Batman, we know about this stuff, but Catwoman gets thrown in, or Robin, or not saying Robin in this one, but just these other characters get thrown in, and we're just okay, we just accept that they're there. But this one actually goes into Catwoman's story a good bit that I like, and obviously the whole Christopher Walken and everything like that. And it is absolutely a Christmas movie, right? Christmas is central to this.
3 things real quick. I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't say hello. I was talking about him. Bill Keys, amazing channel. Bill, you're a member now. Thanks for being here. I see you dropped your emojis. Put your channel in the chat. He actually has 2. He does a lot of gaming. He's a part of the Louisiana RetroCon fam. And Prime One, I don't know why I didn't do this already, but you're a standard moderator now. Thanks for being here. Thanks for everything you did earlier. And we've already got some new friends joining in that are members. So thanks. And everybody else, go hit, before y'all run out of here, hit the like button and drop your top 4. Don't ever leave without dropping your top 4, even if you're lurking. So, because it helps. Oh, and last thing, I in case that you didn't hear it earlier, tomorrow, come and tell us what the worst Batman is ever in the chat. Just throw it in, comment in the chat. Worst ever. Of course, Prime One. Thanks for being here. Gosh, I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, yeah. Thanks for being here. Now it's my turn. Is it my turn?
Well, let me just say this real quick. I just want to say this.
Batman Begin.
Because I was going to talk about this with Batman Returns, is that this is the Christmas movie. Die Hard's not. And the reason is that Christmas is central to Batman Returns, right? It's woven into almost every element of the movie. In Die Hard, it just takes place during Christmas. The whole movie, if you were to take Christmas out of Batman Returns, most of the plot, I mean, Shrek becomes, he's basically Scrooge in this movie, if you think about it, right? All of these elements that are in there. If this happened during a 4th of July party, no one is calling this a 4th of July movie for Die Hard. They only call it because they want it to be a Christmas movie. It isn't a Christmas movie, and I'll stand by that, but that's for a different day.
You lose 3-1.
I listen, I already picked Batman and Robin. I'm a loser in this situation.
No, you lose 3-1. It is a Christmas movie. We all 3 agree.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
Listen, it does happen at Christmas, but a major part of that and why he goes to the plaza is because of Christmas to see his wife. Give me a break. It is a big deal.
Thematically, not about Christmas.
And you know what?
It's
Christmas
a backdrop to the movie.
Until he falls off the tower. I mean, you can't have Christmas until he falls off the tower. All right. The same guy who includes George Clooney Batman in the Mountain Rushmore. Yeah. So, hey, let me get to mine. I am so actually I'm not shocked because it should be this high, but I'm going in. So I did cartoons. I did Schumacher. Now I'm doing Burton. The best Burton is 1989, the original, the Keaton, the Joker. Here's the thing. Joker is one of the best villains in all of comic books, right? As crazy as Batman is as being a superhero, over just like the character is no superpowers, financially, whatever. Like Alex mentioned, he can't heal overnight. He's got all the suffering and the pain. And then the antithesis, the complete opposite, the crazy guy is the Joker. And with that being said, Jack Nicholson plays an amazing Joker. And he brought it to life on camera. You obviously had the 66 version, and then later you have the Ledger version, you have the Joaquin Phoenix version, you have all these other versions, but I'll mention the animated versions, which, old Luke Skywalker did a great job. But to me, you've got Ledger and you've got Nicholson as being some of the greatest Jokers of all time. And I love the story, man. I watched it the other day while they're like cruising through the museum. And it was the very first time that I can remember that I enjoyed watching my comic book come to life. There were often times where you'd see like the Hulk as Lou Ferrigno, and it was just weird. And then, but everybody loved it. Wonder Woman back in the day, and then that weird movie with Thor. I mean, like what? I don't in Captain America. But all of a sudden, you're like, oh, it can be real, and I love where they went. Batman 1989. Now, here's the stats quickly, and then I'll let you guys jump in. My number 2, my link, Michael Keaton, first film of the Burton series. Obviously, you follow up with Returns, which is a fantastic movie, and it would be on my list if I was just kind of doing something different. But the way I went with it, it gets a 7.5 on IMDb. Rotten, I don't have the Rotten Tomato score here. Box office is 251 million, international 160, worldwide 412 million dollars. Going with Keaton, man. Keaton's one of my favorite Batmans too. Let's do it, man. Hammy and Son in the house. Hey, Hammy, meet my friend Alex. Alex, meet my friend Hammy. Hammy has a great channel on PTSD, man. He hangs out with his kids, with his son, and opens packs of cards. But he is a veteran, and he speaks very highly out for veterans with PTSD. Hammy, this is Iraq, man, and I want you guys to introduce. And by the way, Captain, his favorite team, the Packers. So you guys got to be fun.
There it is. It's a match made in heaven. Oh, Kirk said the Packers, and he quit.
And he quit. He's done. That's what happens.
So, okay, well, let's get you guys thought. Jeff, I saw you throwing up. Was that the VHS right there of Batman 89?
Well, this is actually
I couldn't tell.
it was a sealed copy of the Nintendo game Batman.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
that
I
game
remember
was
that game.
difficult,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. That was a pretty hard game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Kirk's back.
Who's back?
The Packers.
Drew's
Wait,
also
Bryce?
a Packer fan too.
I got
so.
mad
My
because
uncle-
you showed that Packers football. I ran away.
Yeah,
Bryce just
that's
said his
happened.
uncle was a Packer.
Oh, well, there
Wait,
you go. Thank you, Bryce.
Like an actual player, or he actually did
A meat Packer.
Yeah.
Watch it be Brett Favre is his uncle. No,
Bryce.
that's awesome.
Wait, hold on. I was kind of missing some of the things in the chat. So I guess Bryce didn't like that movie. Oh, I remember that animated movie Prime. It was disturbing. I don't know, going all the way back. Something's going down. The worst Batman movie for me is the animation movie where he's old, kills the Joker, and almost kills Superman due to the plot armor. Yep, Cheeseheads Unite, greatest team. Drew, you're from out there too, I guess. Unfortunately,
he's actually from Texas. He's from Lubbock, Texas originally, but lives in
Well, you don't have any teams to pick.
And he also used to live in Little Rock at one time. So there you go.
Oh, he's the Packer fan. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, this guy. Yeah, Texas Tech. There you go.
How in the
There
world
you
does
go.
he come up when we talk about the Packers?
Let's go!
How does this
Let's
happen?
go!
Listen, Kirk has to be stopped.
Record
we didn't
Tech.
even bring up anything
Record
about
Tech.
the team. I mean, I guess we're talking football, but goodness gracious.
And softball. They were awesome in softball this year. They're going to be really good in baseball next year too.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of baseball, it's not next year. It's this year. Go LSU. All right.
Yeah.
So 1989. What do you guys think? Let's get it.
This is great. Jack Nicholson as Joker. I mean, you've said it all. This is an iconic role. If Heath Ledger never played the Joker, Jack's the greatest one.
Yeah.
And a lot of that role messed with Jack Nicholson too, from what I've read.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Apparently, the method actors jumping into this character, Joker has messed with a lot of people. It's just really good. Kirk woke my cat up. How do you know there's a Texan at your party? Oh, they'll tell you. Oh, that's hilarious.
I was gonna say Kim Basinger in that movie too. Once again,
Vicky Vale.
The Batman song. Come on, the Batman song by Prince. No, but I'm talking the Prince one. Too.
Oh yeah. Here's the deal. Prince's
album
song for that is often forgotten in Prince's library, but that song's great.
Well,
and the video's awesome too, where it's in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that's a cool video.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're at the George.
We're there. Number
Jeff,
one,
Okay.
the George Clooney of Batman movies. Jeff, where are you going?
El Jefe. What's your George?
Well, first off, I want to just comment on Batman '89.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah. Michael Keaton's live action version of Batman is my favorite live action Batman. So he may not be my George, but he is my favorite
And that's
Batman
that
in
he would
general.
be on the Rushmore, was what you're saying.
Yeah. But also, let's talk about how iconic the Batmobile is and was. I mean, when I think of the Batmobile, I think about that version of the Batmobile, which is one of the coolest aspects of Batman. Superman don't have a car. I mean, I know he can fly, but no other superhero is known for their vehicle like Batman is. I don't even know if there is one. But anyway, so my George, which I'm very shocked no one has made mention of this, which is fine. It's going to make it a unique pick, in my opinion, because it's not based or adapted from a comic book. It makes it even better. This is the best story ever told on film, whether it's animated, whether it's live action, but that is Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm.
There you go.
That is the pinnacle of Batman movies for me. So many people, when they talk about, oh, what's your favorite Batman movie? I kind of smile and then I tell them that, and they're like, really? Once you watch it, then you understand. It's a great telling of Bruce Wayne really battling with that emotional struggle between the vow he made towards his parents, but then his chance of at love. Yeah, he made a promise to his parents who was killed tragically, but man, he's got a chance to really enjoy life, to have love. I mean, that's what anyone would want in this life, right? Is to not only to have love, but be able to give love back, to just have the full experience of love. I mean, if we want to get deep and spiritual, that's what it's about being a Christian. And so, when it comes to this movie, though, it's the first Batman movie that I ever owned. It was the big film of the great animated series. It's just there's so much that can go into it, and so yes, Mark Hamill did a great job as the Joker. Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman. Just a credible job. He passed away a few years ago as well. Mark Hamill, he just showed how talented he can be, other than just being Luke Skywalker. But just a great story. If you've never watched Batman: The Mask of the Phantasm, when the show's over with, go find it, go watch it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna enjoy it. It takes you on an emotional roller coaster, which The Dark Knight did a great job at. But for an animated film to be able to do that, it's got to be special, and this movie is that. And so that's my George. I would love. It would be a dream come true for somebody out there to do a live action version of the Mask of the Phantasm. Such an original villain, original story, and it's up there. It's my George. So
Hey,
Yeah.
so let me jump in, Andy. You wrote 1993, but it's even more important. This movie came out on Christmas. This is also a Christmas movie. It came out on Christmas. I'm just kidding. It literally released Christmas of '93. It's a quick watch, man. It's 76 minutes. I watched this movie for the very first time today, and I've been wanting to watch it. The reason it didn't make my mountain is because I watched it today. It's a great movie. I was shocked. Literally, I was shocked because I thought, well, I'm not gonna give anything away, but you already mentioned it, that the Joker's in it. I didn't even realize the Joker was in it, because it's the Mask of the Phantasm. You see the Phantasm character. You always know Batman kind of always has a little bit of a twist, and so I'm expecting, the Mask of the Phantasm. The Phantasm kind of is designed after like a Grim Reaper type character. It kind of like, as I was watching, I was thinking like Scream for whatever reason, like because there's like smoke and whatever. And I actually started like researching while I was watching. I was like, what is the Phantasm's powers? How does he get them? Like, I was just getting like, and I probably spoiled a little bit for myself while I was doing that because I was just trying to figure out who the Phantasm was. And then Joker shows, and I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, I didn't expect Joker to be in it. It is a animated film movie. It comes off the cartoon. It even starts like that. Kevin Conroy, one of the best Batmans, if not the. Mark Hamill, one of the best Jokers, if not the. And you just mix it all together. What I loved about it, though, Jeff, was seeing him at the gravesite in the rain, crying and saying something to the effect like, "What should I do?" Asking his parents for help as they're passed away because he knew that being Batman, he couldn't have a love interest. And that's what has kept him so long. I mean, you've had Catwoman, you've had Vicky Vale, which actually I just saw Vicky Vale just a minute because this is the Batman '89 video game. I just saw her just a minute ago. But you've had iterations of different things. Poison Ivy trying to hook up with him and Cheetah and all this stuff. But this was really cool to see. And I agree. One of the best cartoons, movies for Batman for sure. And you took a Benjamin only because I just watched it today. So just right about 3 hours before we got online. So it was one of the last things I did.
So the one thing about this, this is a Benjamin too of mine. I did watch this animated movie growing up. The animated series, greatest thing that's ever happened. The Batman one, everything that you said, Conroy, everything about that. But I had the toy of the Phantasm too. Growing up as a kid, I remember that toy. Just thinking it's so cool looking, right? And it's one of those toys that my parents probably got rid of at some point. Whatever, something happened along the way. But this is a great movie. This is the animated movie that came out in theaters too, though, which is interesting because most of these animated movies, nowadays theaters are a little bit different, but they were coming straight to VHS back in the day, right? At Blockbuster, yeah. So. But this one to play in theaters as an animated film is pretty cool too. So love this one. Good pick.
I'm gonna echo the same thing. I honestly forgot about this movie. Not because it's just been a long time since I've seen it. And the animated series was amazing. This movie is kind of in between, I think, one of the seasons, or I don't remember where this one is lined up in the whole part of it, but great story. The twist that you expect to see in a Batman movie was there. And like I said, when you think about the animation, those character actors, they just embodied those roles. So solid pick.
Yeah. What I love about Batman movies compared to other ones, they're not scared. Well, now nobody's really scared of this, but early on, they were always scared to have a superhero in multiple villains. And it was always one superhero against one villain, one superhero against one villain. And Batman was like, yeah, we're going to do multiple. We're going to do multiple.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened in this. Good pick. One of the best animated that I've seen. Slow on my list because of timing. Alex, who's your George?
Just hit the button.
No.
Hit it! Hit it.
All right.
You got it, Kirk? You got it?
No, I got it. I got to scroll down. I was in the wrong spot. And 1, 2, 3.
We've said it. Batman '89. Nostalgia. 12 years old. Marinette, Wisconsin. Seeing this movie with friends. Could probably tell you, I think it's George, Brian, and Anthony. I think those are the 3 other people I went to go see it. Mariner Theater. Small town. Watching this movie, walking away going, let's go see it again. Just like you said earlier, Kirk, it was the first time you saw a comic book movie like really jump, honestly, live action in the thing. You've seen Superman, you've seen some of it, but this one was not only because it was the music, I mean, like right away, the Danny Elfman score kicking in, just the visuals of this, the Batmobile, Jack Nicholson, which once again, everybody kind of looked at Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, and said they're not going to play these parts, and both just kind of blew that out of the water. That both of them were just amazing. The storyline was fun. The music was fun. I'm going to say Prince again. It's the Prince soundtrack, right? And I had the soundtrack at one time, but the music was just carried the movie as well, and just the score. I mean, you listen to the beginnings of it just carried over, right? And right away, you're in a Batman movie. And to me, I even listened to the score today. Just I was working, I had it on as I was working, and I was like, it just does something as you're listening to that music, and just that really set the tone of what you were going to watch. Jack Nicholson made the Joker fun and terrifying at the same time. You didn't know like which way he was going to go. Hey, we're having a great party. We're doing the thing. Next thing you know, he's like, melting somebody or shooting somebody. And it was just a fun chaos. And, you can't really, you go back and you watch that movie and it still holds up. The action holds up. It's still somewhat grounded in reality in a way. The first time seeing the Bat Cave, you're on a ride. You're Vicky Vale. Well, you can be Vicky Vale on the ride, and that's what you are. And it's just a fun movie to watch. Once again, it's my number one. Can't say anything more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
totally
a great movie. Great movie.
Hey, and Jack Napier, right? That was a big deal when
Jack
we heard
Napier.
his name,
Yeah.
right? We heard his name,
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Oh, is that his name?" And there's a couple different lists. Look, there he is, right there. Boom.
Yep.
On the video game. But here's the deal. They had him in Flashpoint. They talk about Jack Oswald White. That was kind of like, whoa, that's the first time. And then you've had the Napier, and then now there's talking about there might be 3 Jokers and all this other jazz. But I remember always calling him Jack Napier. And then when the internet really boomed, you find out, wait, that's not really it. That's not really his name. Like, it might be more ambiguous than that. So
Sure.
that's pretty cool. Definitely great pick. I second it, third it, fourth it. And hold on. You ready, Andy? And go.
All right. It's my turn. Roll that beautiful Rushmore. Why so serious?
Wait,
It's
hold
got to
on.
be.
Pause a second.
Just going again? Yeah. The Dark Knight.
You
The
might as
Dark
well just
Knight.
keep that thing going this whole time, because that's my
Yes,
source.
that's all we're going to talk about for the rest of the show?
Let's do
Okay,
it.
cool. The Dark Knight. Yeah, we'll go back and forth here. It's my George, and I'm assuming it's Kirk's George too. Listen, this, for a period of time, and still I think holds up now, this supersedes superhero movies. This movie is on an echelon of its own. It gets what it's like. This is the measuring line. Like, yeah, it's a great movie, but it's not The Dark Knight, right? Like, that is just what this movie has become. Everything that you said before, Jeff. Everything that you said before. Is this a quadruple Rushmore? Yeah, this is a quad Rushmore.
Quad crush.
I would have been very upset if it wasn't. The Dark Knight is the greatest superhero movie, and I'm just going to say it. It is the best superhero movie out there. I'm not big into the MCU. I've talked about that before. They're cool. Like, I watch them, and it's like it's entertaining for a little bit. But Dark Knight is so much more than just that. The storytelling in this movie, the cinematography in this movie, the score, just everything about this movie is just beautiful, perfect. I'll say this, and then Kirk, I'll let you talk about it. I'm a big music fan. Huge music. When we do Music March in April, it's where I nerd out the most. I have a playlist on my Spotify, and I posted this a while back, that I just call perfect songs. There's songs that I feel like artists wrote that there is literally nothing else they could have done to this song. And they ended everything they did. Every choice they made is perfect, and that's how I feel about this movie. There's nothing I would change about this movie. It is the absolute perfect movie when it comes to. It's everything you want about this. Heath Ledger's acting, Christian Bale, just everything that's in this movie. This is a perfect movie. I think on Rotten Tomatoes, it's almost as close to perfect as you can get. It's like a 98 or somewhere up there. This is the best, not only Batman movie, but it's one of the best movies of all time. I'm going Dark Knight. This had a stranglehold on my generation. I mean, because this when did Dark Knight come out?
Well, I've got all of that for you.
Yeah, 2008. I had just graduated high school. Like this was like right out of high school time. This was perfect. Love this movie. Kirk, continue.
Yeah, so I mean, without a shadow of doubt, when someone, I think Jeff said it first. Jeff's like, all right, let's do Batman movies. I said, okay, what's behind Dark Knight? So that was kind of like where I started. I love, this is the best series. This is the best movie of the series. It's my favorite character in the series. I already mentioned Joker. It's my favorite storyline in the series. It's the best written. I love Begins because of bringing Nolan to life, SnyderVerse, and the seeing Batman. I love Rises for multiple reasons, including Bane being just amazing. But this movie here is a standalone film. You don't need to see anything else. You don't even need to know who Batman is. This is one where you could bring like your girlfriend to. You're like, it's a superhero movie. Chill. Just watch. Chill out. Just watch. It's a good movie. It's a detective film. It's got emotions. It's high energy. It's low energy. It pulls at the heartstrings when you're talking about the fairies. You're seeing Two-Face and the demise. It's just completely awesome. Here it is. 2008. Obviously, Christian Bale. His voice kind of got under some people's nerves, but I think he played it well. I love seeing him when he was like injured and kind of getting repaired up and kind of like suffering a little bit as Bruce Wayne. Then you have the Heath Ledger side, not to mention the RIP, and the whole story about his method acting that we've already talked about, Oscar winning, the why so serious and the like licking his lips. You want to know how I got these scars, all of that, but here's the deal. This movie was a 94% for audience and critics for Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb, a 9 out of 10. Metacritic, an 84 out of 100. Awards, it got Academy Awards. And financially, you're talking about where's capitalist Cody when we need him. This movie made over $1 billion doll hairs. This movie is over $1 billion. It is insane. You said it's the best superhero movie of all time. There's only about 3 I would even put in the same park, and then everything else is outside of that. To me, Endgame, the last Spider-Man, the Infinity War. That's probably the Rushmore of best ever, in my opinion. Like best ever, like GOATs, because they're like way above of all things on like what you saw in film. Like, but I think Dark Knight's probably sitting at the top of the George. If not, he's at least linked. So, bar none, best movie, and you guys are talking.
Obviously, we all agree. Any other final thoughts on The Dark Knight?
No.
$1 billion. Nolan is a great director. I'm glad we can all recognize. Quad Crush, love it. That's a bold statement, Cotton. You're throwing bold statements out there, Andrew.
I make some bold statements on this.
Now, here's not a bold statement. I'm curious to what movies Andy is coming in with in this next version while we move on to the Benjamin side of things, which is what we call our honorable mentions. Go hit the like button while you watch this. So here's a story of a lovely lady. We love the mountain. 4 heads on the mountain. That not Peyton Manning 4 heads that we talked about last week.
He was on the mountain last week.
4 particular heads. It wasn't even last week. It was like 3 days ago. And
That's true.
but apparently Google says it, and Google's always right. Benjamin Franklin was supposed to be the 5th guy on the mountain, and that's what we call honorable mentions because they just missed the mountain. So today, this is the game. It's the same order. Round 1, round 2, it goes backwards. Round 3 goes to this order, and backwards again. So Jeff, you start off number 1, Alex 2, Andy 3, me 4. Now remember, you cannot mention any movie already been mentioned, and if you think there's a movie out there that isn't going to make it back around to you, you better grab it because things are going to be going really quickly, and I'm anxious to see what Andy is picking this round. Jeff, you're up. What is your honorable mention? Oh, and by the way, we don't have to like blah, blah, blah too much about it. It's just we're throwing it out there. We're going to honor it, and then we're going to move on. All right. So,
all right. Well, if The Mask of the Phantasm is the #1 best animated Batman film, then Batman Under the Red Hood would be number 2.
good pick.
Nice.
Good
Okay.
pick. I've
Yeah.
seen this one. It was a long time ago, and it was on my list to watch today again. It is a good movie. Good movie. Good pick. I'm glad you picked it because I didn't have it on my honorable mentions. So, Alex, you're up.
I'm gonna close out the Nolan series, Dark Knight Rises.
I mean, you have to. You have to.
You have to.
You have to do that.
2012, great cast. Not the best story. I felt like the story was very convoluted. But like I said, it was a lot of great action. The opening scene with obviously with the plane and all that stuff. It wasn't grounded in reality. I just, like I said, somewhere in there you got lost in the story, but it ended up the Nolan series. So that is definitely my mention.
I really
Dark Knight
love
Rises.
Bane, and I do love his voice. I think it's interesting. I'm not that guy. So wait, if I'm doing my math correct, that's all the Burton Schumacher. That's all the Nolan. That's the new The Batman.
Yep.
So Andy, you're gonna have to lean in and lean in well.
Well,
Where we go?
Alex, you forced my hand. That was going to be my only legitimate pick, and and the Benjamins was Dark Knight Rises. So just buckle up, guys. These are not in. None of these movies have. Well, one of these movies I've seen. The rest of them were done on research today, and they're like, "Oh, that'll be cool. I want to watch that one." I also even tried to find like movies that Batman was in, but it's not a Batman movie. But like in a silly way, he's been in episodes of shows. I was like, I'm just going to do that, but let me not do it. But just as a Benjamin of Benjamins, if I could real quick, Parks and Rec, there's a great episode where Ben Wyatt, who's a super nerd on there, they go to Treat Yourself Day, and he buys a whole Batman suit, but he's crying in the Batman suit, and it's a crying Batman, and it's the funniest. Anyway, that's not what I'm going to mention today. These are all just animated and movies that I haven't seen. Mask of Phantasm is the only animated one that I've actually seen. So these are just, hey, let's have fun with it. I particularly love the Adam West Batman time, the really campy like dance break Batman stuff, just super silly. Take it for what it is.
Wow! Wham!
But there's an animated one that I want to see called Batman Return of the Capes Crusaders. I watched a couple clips of that today, and it's an animated movie, but it works in that whole style, and it's the, holy cow, Batman! It's like that whole, like, everything about Batman that's just, it's a totally different world. I get it, but it's fun. So I haven't seen it other than a few clips today.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good pick, and I haven't seen it either, but I just looked it up, and it looks like something I would love to watch. Yeah, so, all right, so I get 2 picks back to back. I'm going to jump in, and I'll be the first one to shout him out. I said it earlier, but, I'm going to go with Batfleck, and I'm going with Superman versus Batman because it's available, but I like Batfleck. Is it the best movie ever? No, but I was entertained by it, and so I'll throw that one out there. But number 2, underrated, and I I seen this not long ago, and I watched it not because of Batman, but because who else is in it? I'm going Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2019 crossover. Yeah, it's a fun little deal. The turtles are like following Shredder basically to Gotham, and it's awesome. Yes, it does exist, and it's fun. That's my 2 picks.
All right, back to me. This one looked really cool. Again, watching just clips of it today. I like the different approach to this one. I'm going Batman versus Dracula. Batman versus Dracula
I
animated
almost
film.
watched that today. I've never seen that one either. I
It
almost
looked
watched
really
that
cool.
today.
And then they had the Joker as like a Dracula type. It was really cool looking. But anyway, yeah, just
I kind of have a feeling my other ones that I want will not make it back to me. So
yeah.
I'm
Now you're worried.
I'm really worried.
I only have a few left, so I'm gonna have to.
I've
pull
got
up
a bunch left, but the ones I want.
All right, back to you, Alex.
Thank you, Kirk. I'm going to say the same thing. I like Batfleck. I really do. I thought, you want a big brooding Batman that played.
Was it the best movie? No, but Batfleck was.
But like I said, he is older. He's wary. He's cynical. He's just like jaded. He doesn't. He's kind of at the end of it. He just does not want to be there. But he's like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this thing. So I'm actually going to go Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
League.
I almost did that.
To me, once again, we all saw. I say myself. I saw the original Justice League. Just that was rough. And then when I was so happy when the Snyder Cut came out, it was just a very different version of every single one of those. Every single one of those superheroes was a different version. And Batfleck, I would say, was a better version in obviously the Snyder Cut. Better story, better visuals. Just to me, like I said, I would put that one up there, the Snyder Cut.
I like it.
Yeah.
Snyder Cut.
All right, Jeff, you get back-to-back picks now.
It was long though, but it was cool.
It was long.
Y'all making this hard. All right. Batman Beyond, The Return of the Joker. And don't be surprised if you see a live action version of Batman Beyond within the next.
I love Batman Beyond,
10
and
years.
I love old Batman, like the Logan version, like with Wolverine, the old Batman where they brought him back, kind of Keaton-esque. That dude, I love it. All right. Batman Beyond, awesome.
And for my second one, I saw someone trashing in the chat, but Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. That has to be one. Matter of fact, you don't get a Batman versus Superman without this story. So, Batman: The Dark Knight Returns.
All right. Alex, back to you.
I want to make this hard on you guys. The Flash 2023. You got 3 Batmans in that one.
Yeah.
You got Batfleck. You get Batfleck. You get the return of Keaton, right?
Keaton.
Music included. And then Andy's favorite, you get George Clooney at the end. So as Bruce Wayne, so you get a 3 for 1. So
I like that George Clooney's now become my favorite because I'm the only one in that. I'll take it.
But and here's the thing though. I
bet Kilmer would have been in it too if he would have been in better shape.
Flash was the movie's trash. Let's be honest. The movie was trash. That's
but the
what
Batman's part was fun.
But the Batman parts were fun. And that's why I enjoyed it, because you had Affleck at the beginning, which, kind of the mentor-mentee role. He was great. All of a sudden, it was awesome to see Michael Keaton back in that role, right? In the old Batcave. It was really cool. I mean, the bat plane, it was fun to see that whole part of it too. And then just the cool twist at the end, where all of a sudden you're expecting to see Affleck come out and it's Clooney. You're like, where did that come from? So to me, those were kind of the 3 highlights of that movie. I'm going to The Flash 2023.
All right, nice. I still got some picks. So what do I got? 2 more? Okay, I'm going to go Kirk, you already did a crossover. So I'm going to throw the other crossover out there. and I'm going to say Scooby-Doo and Batman, The Brave
Oh,
and Bold. I'm
nice.
going to go Scooby-Doo and Batman. It's just
Dude.
it's a match. It's a perfect match right there.
I survived. Thank you. I survived. I was sitting here going, I have 2 picks left. Let's see if Andy chooses either one of them, and then I would have to dig into the cabin. Yeah, that crossover I saw. David, our resident geek on Discord, posted it in his honorable mentions.
I match a lot with David, which is interesting.
Yeah. So 2019 will be my next pick, and it's a cartoon. It's one of my favorite cartoons next to Lego. Is Batman Hush. And Hush, I don't know that you can find Hush in any other thing, right? I think Hush was just in this, in the graphic novel of this, if I remember correctly. But really, really cool story. If you follow, it has a lot of cool characters like Nightwing, Riddler, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Joker, Catwoman. They're all in this, and it kind of just weaves, this murder mystery. You got to figure out what it is. And Hush is really a cool character. He kind of looks like Dark Man, if you will, or like the Invisible Man. He's all like bandaged up and whatever, covering his face. There is a huge twist in this one, so I'm not going to give it away. Watch that one. That is a great film. And then I'm surprised this thing lasted to round 4. Animated film. It's the story of Joker, man. I love the Joker, and I'm going The Killing Joke. And it is another animated film. I watched The Killing Joke right before I watched Phantasm today, but it wasn't my first time watching. And I watched Hush like yesterday or the day before yesterday to remind me how great those were. The Killing Joke is basically just showing him coming through the ranks as a comedian. And I love the animation in this one. It's not animated series-esque, but it's much more edgy. Really cool graphic novel. It tells kind of a little bit more of the story of the Joker. A lot of Batgirl is in it too. So that's going to be my picks. I finished. I landed it. Yes.
Yeah, I actually have 3 to choose from for my last Benjamin, none of which I've seen. But the most interesting of the 3 that I've seen was a late ad. I was looking through some stuff. Batman Ninja, the anime.
I have seen that. Seen that.
Really cool. I know I'm not a huge anime person, but seeing Batman in that animation style is just it's cool to see him as a feudal Japan.
That is actually a really cool take. That was on my list for a little bit too.
Yeah. All right. So, Alex, your last Benjamin.
You guys really made me search for this one, but I'm going to go back. I don't know who said it earlier in the chat, but I will say the Batman 1966 film. I remember watching it with my parents.
That was Barry.
Say what you want about Adam West, but the guy could play for that time, right? For the 60s, he was perfect in that role. I love the fact that that's kind of carried through, like he was in Family Guy.
Yeah,
as the mayor.
Adam West.
mayor. I mean, just don't even hide it, right? So to me, any chance he had to do it again.
Was syndicated on, I think it was VH1 or MTV.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I watched it a lot. Then. I think it was one of those, or maybe it was like the movie channel TMC, or I don't remember, but I know it was syndicated for a while when we were like in the 90s, and I thought it was VH1 maybe, but maybe not.
But they had, in that movie, it's the full cast. He had everybody. You said before, Penguin, Joker, Catwoman. You list the whole
Riddler.
Squad. Riddler was in there, right? Yep. Everybody was in it. So to me, it's a fun movie to watch. It's really campy. It's kind of like, okay, that was bringing the live action Batman to the screen. But once again,
Cesar Romero,
Cesar Romero, right?
I
Yep,
mean,
and-
he's got to be put up there as top Jokers, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
With the
I mean,
mustache and everything that
Yeah.
you wouldn't shave. Yeah. So yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Love that pick. All right. Last but not least, Jeff, you get the final pick, Mr. Irrelevant of the Batman movies. What you got?
I was crossing my fingers, hoping no one would pick this one. It's the oddball, but it's one that me and my son has enjoyed the last few years. And just for the record, Batman Returns may be the greatest Batman Christmas movie, but it is not the only Batman Christmas movie. And my last pick is the Merry Little Batman.
Oh!
Yeah, it's it's weird. It is strange. Everything about it is different than anything we've ever seen in a Batman film, animated, live, whatever. Very weird, unique, but it works. And it's something that me and my son watch. It kind of brought him to Batman. He's very much a Spider-Man guy, but Merry Little Batman, it rubbed off on him.
Kind of looks like the Tick, like the animation, a little bit,
Yeah.
like big chin.
Yeah, goofy, weird. It's the last pick.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I like that pick. Way to end it tonight, guys. We did it. We made it all the way through. We picked however many Batman movies it's been tonight. Successful.
Man, this Merry Little Batman is something else. It's 2023, so it's new.
Yeah.
I'll take a look at that one.
Anyways, hey man, look. First off, it's been way too long since we hung out, guys. Can't wait to figure out when you guys come on again. Maybe get together, separate, whatever. Jeff, can't wait to see you next time down in Louisiana Convention World. Alex, maybe the Chiefs or the Saints play up there in Lambeau. I'm going to come up there and watch a game with you, and
We can do a show. We can do a show from up here.
Dude, I love you to death, man. You mean so much to me, and we don't talk enough. So thank you for being here, Alex. Jeff, tell everybody. Well, Alex, because Jeff's got a creator. He's whatever. Alex, let's talk about this. When's the next time? What's the next show we can plan? Because I know you want to be on it.
Absolutely. Let's talk.
Video games, music, movies, and TV. Nostalgia's already booked the next round, but you can go sports. You can go food, video games, music.
Greatest Packers of all time.
Sports and music. Let's go ahead and start with that.
Okay, so sports. We're going to get you on for sports. That's October. It would be in October.
Perfect.
Hey, I just thought of a good idea to
We can do a
use
football.
those.
What?
What if we did for music? Just
And
spitballing here. What if we did top Rushmore of sports anthems?
Oh,
Ooh,
that would be a
Just
fun
saying.
one.
that's a good one.
Stadium.
Stadium.
Little John Tesh.
Yes.
Oh.
Basketball.
Great.
You know they're going to bring it back
Yeah.
for the NBC. Yeah, there you go.
That SNL skit is one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Dude, when you see him kind of run to the keyboard, that is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Mhm.
Hey, so Alex, we're gonna get you on for sports in October. So
Perfect.
look at your October dates. What Thursday's good for you? We're gonna mark it down. We'll figure out a topic.
Please. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. We love you to death, man. Don't go nowhere. Jeff, tell everybody what you got going up next. Where can they find you? Where can they find your page? What will they find when they see you?
Well, first off, I'm very active on Facebook. I no longer have my personal page, so I basically just dive in and invest everything into the Retro Maniac Facebook page. That's where I post my videos, all my content. I post spiritual stuff from time to time. Every now and then I'll post something with my family, but I have to keep in mind that it's not my private page, so I'm kind of a little more careful what I post as far as personal now. But where you can find me is this Saturday. So I'm starting to support Pro Wrestling 225 a little more than I have because they gave me a shot to sponsor a show. Truly honored. So they're kicking off something. They're bringing on VHS Wrestling, which is an acronym for Vintage Home Show Wrestling. It has that 80s vibe. It's going to be in Gonzales, Louisiana. And so VHS Wrestling was a project. It was a promotion that happened. I want to say on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Something happened. Long story short, Pro Wrestling 225 is taking them in, and it's going to be just a, from what I understand, a wacky 80s style, a lot of big gimmicks, a lot of the type of wrestling that you would see in the 80s and early 90s. And so I'll be there, kind of looking from maybe a future sponsor perspective. But like I said, the independent wrestling scene is where I've kind of just dove all in. That's my avenue. I'm not a convention guy. I support my guys that does conventions. I will be there to support y'all in any way I can. But as far as investing my money and my time and finding my path, I believe I really found it with wrestling. And then once again, in Morgan City, one of the biggest independent wrestling shows is Gulf State Wrestling's Cajun Heat. It's going to be packed in the Morgan City Auditorium, where so much rich history with Mid South Wrestling, Junkyard Dog, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, a lot of the Von Erichs, a lot of your big names wrestled in that very same building. So that's where you can find me. We have a lot of things kind of coming up involved with the wrestling, and then yeah, that's about it.
Love it. Love it.
Love it, man. Thank you for being here. Andy, you were going to say something?
No, I love having you guys here. It's always a great time.
Yeah,
it's a good conversation when we're approaching
Jeff, you're
3 hours.
invited again.
Exactly.
Jeff, you're definitely invited again. If you want to be on sports, food, movies, TV, video games, music, figure it out. Find a Thursday that's good for you. We are booked through nostalgia. That's the next series, and we're booked halfway through sports all of September. We're in October, November, and December right now. November and December's food. January and February, video games. March and April, back to music, and then it's a full year away. But movies and TV will be here before you know it. So Jeff, you're welcome to come back on again. If you guys ever want to, Captain, if you start a channel, we're there to help and support. Jeff, we're always I'm always following what you got going on, whether it's your videos with your son and adventures over at the wrestling and stuff. But hey, I was thinking this, and I'm sure you've thought of this too. I know you're so big into the wrestling, but I think what would be really cool is a little managerial spot for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a little mouth of the South situation, but being the retro maniac. Dude, I love the console idea that you guys did, and now it's VHS idea. It's just so fun. This is cool, man. I can't wait to see how you grow over there. Everybody, thank you for being here. Before we head out, if you're still hanging out, you got 13 in the chat. If you haven't hit the like, do it. Here's the reminders. Instagram, tomorrow, go vote who won this Batman show, and also vote who won the athletes that can act. I think Andy's going to do both of them for this week. He was out of town, so give him a break. And we're going to be posting some videos for all our members. We'll be working on those over the next couple weeks. So many members at one time, we were just like, whoa. But Bryce, we owe Bryce. We owe Dark Link. We owe Prime for sure. Thank you guys. We love y'all to death. As well as if you want us to do a Rushmore Revisited, go and find a video that you like, and we will recheck it out and read.
Yeah, anybody right now, if you are a member at the George level, which most of you guys are, just message us, let us know. We'll do a quick little revisit.
Yeah, we'll do a Rushmore Revisited for you. And basically, that just means we go back in and see if our lists have changed. Andy did one for Nintendo 64. It has changed now that he's a collector. And I was thinking the other day, there's definitely some that have changed. So if you want to do a Rushmore Revisited, if you're at the George level, shoot us the message. Thanks for being here, guys. We love you. Next week ends Movies and TV with Iowa Retro Gamer Dad and Dusty Flotilla, who was in the chat earlier. We're doing training montages. And then in 2 weeks, Bryce is on with our guy from Yellow Rose, video games of our childhood, and we're starting nostalgia. We love you guys. We thank you guys for being here. It's been an amazing time. Thursday night We are out. See you guys the next time around. Prime, thank you so much. Thank you for lurking and hanging out. And it goes without being said, you didn't have to do that, but it means a ton. And Andy.
Well, hey, it's late. Let's say goodnight like we always do. This is the Rushmore Show, where it's all about your top four.
And nothing more.
Peace.